Day after this one? Okay, never mind. Okay. Welcome inside the Cardiff Met Studios. My name's Dominic Liacani.
And I'm Rhys David, and this is an International Women's Day special of Up the Archer.
It's a beautiful day outside. We've got a ton of sport going on. This is Up the Archer. We've got an action-packed day of sport, as I mentioned, coming up for you. Football right after this, then rugby starting at 6:15. I mentioned the temperatures outside, beautiful. For our American friends across the pond, high 40s, low 50s. I'm saying here in Celsius, or I was told in Celsius, it's about 12 degrees outside. Beautiful day, Reese.
Yeah, it's a really warm one. It's probably the nicest day of the year. So, yeah, just a exceptionally nice day, Dom.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely a great day for sports. So much going on, and we're excited that you're along with the ride.
And it's also International Women's Day this Friday. So let's take a look at this promo to help celebrate the monumental occasion.
Here's to the women who stand, the women who take their lives in their hands, who hold to the truth on point of pain, who are told they're insane and to stay in their lane. Here's to the women who still speak out.
An event called #InspireInclusion in sport coaching, hosted by Cardiff Metropolitan University on Kingscote campus this week, which will look at the universal issues of inclusivity, diversity and empowerment in women's sport. You can find out more about that on the Cardiff Met Sport TV Instagram page.
And speaking of women's sports, the Cardiff Met women's rugby squad has a pair of teammates with a very, very strong connection. We caught up with Sarah in Singleton and Nicole Marlowe.
Oh,
Jim.
Dodson. I thought Jim would make a lot more sense, but I was thinking like, oh, going out, partying, dancing. I don't know why I'm saying that, but.
Are you ready? 3, 2, 1.
Try!
Troy Bolton, Met player of the season so far. What?
That I.
Rosie
Oh.
Carr. I would say that
Yeah,
as
there's
well.
a few. Could have been Molly Reid as well.
Molly.
3, 2, 1.
Christmas clap.
I said Exeter me and Bob.
Have you seen that clip? Nicole tried to get involved in a mall but didn't do anything and just put her hand there and then she got flung the other
Not
side.
only was that a funny moment, but we did win. That was like the
Yeah.
last player of the
win.
season. Because of me,
Because
I
of
think.
you,
I
you won
had the magic finger.
I think he's like this.
Heidi's.
Oh, we spelled it the same.
Oh, good. I just know she's not going to get it right.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Dolphin.
Dolphin.
Oh, you did. I knew. Is it not you? Dolphin. She likes a dolphin.
I love a dolphin.
Obviously, we've never played against each other, so that was a different experience. You had some of the girls making jokes like, oh, like you're gonna smash her, like what's gonna happen? But no, I think when it comes to it, you don't really think about stuff like that. You just think about the game and the result and what's gonna happen.
I think I thought about it more because obviously a lot of the girls in the Brython were from Met, and like the only team I have played for in Wales is Cardiff Met. So like there was a lot of thought going into the game, but like in my head I was just like, don't let her run past you because they'll probably say something.
I think because I am in my last year now, I obviously want to just play as much BUCS rugby as I can.
I think also to like potentially get to the finals or like that would be a massive like way to leave Met. Yeah.
Yeah, just good luck and go out there and give it your best.
Give your 100%, go out there and smash it.
Well, a lovely feature there with teammates Nicole Marlowe and Sarah Singleton, and we're joined by another one of their teammates at the moment, Maisie Davis. Maisie, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
So I want to firstly talk about your experiences in the Celtic Challenge tournament. Can you firstly just explain for those of us who might not be aware what the tournament is, just what it is?
Yeah, so there's 2 teams from Wales, 2 teams from Scotland and Ireland, and there's from Wales there's one east, one west. So one that's based out of Pack Scarlets and then one that's based out of Cardiff Met.
So you were playing for Gwalior Lightning?
Yeah.
How was that experience and what have you gained from those experiences?
Yeah, it was brilliant. Playing with internationals to playing with people who I've played with in the age grade with under 20s and under 18s. It's brilliant.
And I think you did quite well as a collective as Blyth and Thunder. So what's the aims now going forward for that tournament and developing rugby in Wales as well?
Yeah, I think they want to do a home and away fixture next year, which is exciting, more games. And it proved this year how there are teams in Wales and teams in Ireland that can play a high standard of rugby. So. And
one of your teammates from Met and the Celtic Challenge, Molly Reardon, has been called up today to the Women's Six Nation squad. You're going to be involved as a development player in that squad as well. So you can just tell us a bit more about that and her as well.
Yeah. So I think it was a few weeks ago. Got an invite to go train with them, which was pretty cool. I wasn't expecting that. But Molly's been playing well for Met, playing well for Celtic, so she deserves it.
And a bit more on Met, obviously just one game of the regular season remaining, that long trip up to Durham next week. Are you looking forward to that one and going back up there again?
Oh well, it's a very long drive, isn't it? But it's exciting. It's obviously a big game for us. We need to win that with a bonus point. But it's an exciting challenge.
And then looking ahead then to the BUCS Super Rugby, or the WNL playoffs, home quarter final, is that the aim now? Just secure that and look ahead to that?
Yeah, definitely. And it'd be nice to be back playing with Met. Obviously, I haven't played much with Met because I was injured at the start of the season, so hopefully get the chance to play.
Now, with the Celtic Challenge, I'm curious, from what I was told, you actually got to play against some of your Met teammates. What was that dynamic like, playing against your teammates at your university and then going off to represent your country, and then you're playing against your teammates?
Yeah, I think it brings more of a pressure to it because you don't want to lose to them, but as well you want the best for each other, so you don't want them to play bad or perform bad. So I think as long as it's a good game, then
you have any interactions with any of your teammates that stand out to you during that challenge?
I think Sarah tried to get the ball off me, so I just dropped it on the floor or something silly like that.
Thanks, Maisie. You've been really good. So thanks for coming on. Another archer who's been making headlines across the city is footballer Megan Bowen, who has been on fire for Cardiff City this season. We sent our cameras to catch up with Mega Meg.
To sign with such a big club at the age of 17 was something very surreal. It was a club that had potential with young players and experienced players, and it was a team that I knew I wanted to join since I started playing in the league. And they thrive for greatness, and that's what I want to be a part of. I want to be a part of teams winning the league, teams winning all the cups, and for me Cardiff was just the perfect club. I don't think it could have gone any better than it did. I think I knew coming to a club like Cardiff we would be winning the league and we would be challenging, but to win the double in my first season was something that I couldn't really plan. It was perfect. It was just the perfect start to hopefully a long time at this club for me. I think I came into the season last year with no expectations. I knew I had to work hard to get into the team, let alone win young player. So at the start of the season it was difficult, but then I managed to sort of work my way in, and to come away with an individual award is always great, but for me the bigger highlight was winning the league and going unbeaten with the team. I didn't expect it at all. Obviously I'm the youngest player in the squad. I've had numerous chats with Ian really about being a leader in the squad and how that can influence other people and how I can help other people, but I never expected it to happen sort of at this age really. But it's going to be an honour. I think for me the biggest pull was being able to still play for Cardiff City. That was my main goal for this year. I'm happy here at the club, and to do a course where it can also help me play football with sports analysis is something that was a big pull into the uni. The uni is able to help me balance between football and uni life. Cardiff Met was the perfect opportunity. I think I've always been someone who likes analysing my own games. As soon as they come out, I'm watching them, I'm making notes on them. So sports analysis was the course that just sort of fitted me personally. I can use it now. I've learned new techniques to be able to analyse the opposition, to find out their weaknesses and how we're able to exploit them. And I think that's only going to help the club, that's only going to help our development. I think at the start it was difficult. There's a lot of temptations in uni with going out, maybe not eating the right food, and I think at the end of the day, my sole focus is my dream to play football, and everything I want to do with football would always win in the end, really. Anytime you get called up for a Wales squad is the best feeling in the world. There is no feeling that comes near it. For me to do it across 3 different age groups with 15s, 17s and 19s is something that I've always dreamt of, and hopefully now the senior call-up is close in the future, but to play for the 19s is something, you know, we've been at the Euros, we've been friendly tournaments in Portugal, is something that I'll never forget. I think for me that would be the penultimate goal probably in my career, is to play international senior football. It'd mean a lot because my family has supported me throughout my footballing journey, from playing grassroots all the way now to playing for Cardiff City. So it'd mean a lot, and I know it'd mean a lot for them and for me as well.
Well, a great feature there with Meg Bowen. She's a Cardiff City player, but actually studies here at Cardiff Met, who are also in the same league, alongside Dom, another team that you might have heard of, Ryan Reynolds' very own Wrexham team.
Yeah, listen, I'll tell you, I'm not completely familiar with the whole Welsh women's football scene, so I don't know. Can you give me like maybe the 20-second debrief of the whole format and the structure?
Yeah, so basically there's 8 teams in the league, which include Cardiff and Swansea, 2 of the big teams. Cardiff Met are in there as well, alongside Wrexham, who are the big new kids on the block that just got promoted to it this season. And they actually split to top 4, bottom 4. So top 4 then go into a separate league, which has just started now, and they'll play off who wins the ultimate title. Okay.
Is there so there's regulation, I would think, right? Regulation up and down, I would think, right?
Yeah. So there's relegation, yeah.
Of course, I'm the American, I say it wrong.
So the bottom team in that league will be relegated to the league below. And Wrexham were the lucky ones to get promoted last season. So Ryan Reynolds would have been pretty happy with that.
Hey, that's one name I know, right? Ryan Reynolds. I can say that name. Let's get back to the rugby now and transatlantic storytelling. E.C. Cantrell, Captain America here for Cardiff Met's women's rugby squad, doing a feature on her. We actually got to tour her house yesterday with her American roommates. We are so excited to bring you this feature. Here's a quick sneak peek.
Oh my God, Porter!
Hey, see? Let's talk about when we first met.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we knew each other's name pretty much in middle school. He played rugby, but then we went to high school together.
We still never really talked.
Yeah.
In the senior year of high school.
Yeah, we were on the same rugby team. Like, I joined later than him, but we always trained together. But the girls and guys were still kind of separate. And then we came to Cardiff Met, and I just went up to him because I knew that they were the only rugby Americans that that were from where I was from. So I was like, might as well get to know them.
And then since then, I think we hung out every day, every other day.
So all along, we've just been friends.
So connected for so long.
Yeah.
Didn't realize it.
My sister told me that that's called an invisible string. Taylor Swift, she's a big Swiftie. Not, but she informed me of this after finding out about me and Porter.
Must be real.
Must be real. Swifties are always right, I guess.
Yeah.
So, Reese, you were on that shoot yesterday. What was that experience like to be able to work with EC?
No, it was a really, really cool experience. Yeah, I got the opportunity to go down and help you guys out with it. And yeah, it was just really, really cool to be there. See how you guys set up the shoot, see how you interact with people you've never met before, and how you get to know them really, really quickly. And yeah, it was a really good insight into how you guys work and the quality that you guys sort of show and demonstrate doing these really cool features as well.
We appreciate that. We also appreciate EC Cantrell for allowing us into her home, meeting her roommates, telling her story. That's going to be an awesome piece. Speaking of women's sports, you want to know a team that is surging right now on Ball State's campus? That's Ball State's women's basketball team, 25-4 right now, sitting at second place in the Mid-American Conference standings with just 2 games remaining in the regular season. Last month, a huge win against MAC rivals Toledo at home. Let's take you back to that matchup.
When we play the way we do and the crowd gets behind it, man, that's what we all signed up for.
A red out here at Worthen Arena against the backdrop of these red stadium seats. It's a pretty spectacular atmosphere. Ball State is one of those teams that is defined over the past 10 years by close but no cigar. They have not been able to get over the hump of the Toledo Rockets, but we've got a collision course of the top 2 teams in the MAC at this point. Ball State at 15-2, Toledo at 12-3. Both squads 5-0 in the conference. The tip between Kiefer and Lockett. It is controlled by Lockett, and Toledo will take over to start. Toledo heads to the end of the first quarter, up by 5. They came in rolling into Worthen Arena, and they have dominated through the first quarter of play, 17-12.
Our effort was the story of the game. You know, before the game, I asked them for intensity in everything we did. I mean, from top to bottom, they brought it.
There's a huge rejection from Kiefer. Kicks out to Bishop, corner 3, near side, hits it. Cardinals have the lead again. Stripped away off the inbound from Kiefer. She gets it to Hampton and puts it away, and Worthen Arena on their feet after 5 quick points from the Cardinals. They lead 22-19. Say congratulations to Allie Becky, who hit 1,000 points with her last bucket in her career. Nyla Hampton on that last bucket to get on the score sheet also joins the 1,000-point club. It is a night of history, but whether or not it will be remembered for a Cardinals victory is still to be seen. The Cardinals really flipped the script in terms of the momentum. Richard finds some space through the contact and drills it. 3 seconds, gets the miss, kicks away. Bischoff, 3, yes! Maddie Bischoff to send the Cardinals to the half, up 10. Gonna spin away from the double, another tough bucket. Alex Richard all of a sudden the hot hand for the Cardinals. She'll slow it up and get it back out to Becky. She tries a 3, near side wing, and that is money. A timeout called by the Rockets, and with good measure, down by 13, 46-33. Ball State, the mission remains the same. They are just 10 minutes away from solidifying themselves as top dogs in the MAC. 50-39, Ball State in command.
Richard has made a big impact in this one. Double digits for the junior. She's played a great game.
Bischoff drives in and 1. They have found their rhythm now. We knew it would be gritty. We knew it would be gutsy. It was a nose to the ground, sloppy kind of game, but Ball State survives in one of the biggest games you will see in the regular season in MAC play. 65-51, the Cardinals get it done.
Guys.
Something's going on now.
Listen, hey, all I'm going to tell you is that was a good game.
No.
Oh, I always love that video of head coach Brady Sally just just cranking out this ski in the locker room after the big win. Why not? I mean, a 14-2 record right now in Mid-American Conference play. If the Cards win tonight, that game at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time across the pond, they, for the first time ever, will have 15 wins in Mid-American Conference play in program history. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good, Dom. And can you tell me a bit more about basketball in America? And because I understand you're the voice of women's basketball on the radio in America.
Yeah, I'm very lucky to be one of 2 radio voices for the Ball State women's basketball team. I've been able to follow them around all season long, travel with them. A very exciting group. And just talking about basketball in the States, the style very different. Overseas, a lot more of a physical game, right? But when you get to America, more fouls called. It's more offensive, right? Very fast-paced, very quick, strategic. Overseas, it's very gritty, very, very intense, very physical. You don't get as much of that in the United States because there are international players that sometimes have to adjust to that on both the men's and the women's side, right? So it's a very different game, but overall the same basic rules, same basic ways to play.
I know you've mentioned the record this season, obviously 14-2, the women doing really, really well. We saw the vibes there, they're loving life. Just how good is that for Ball State? The women's basketball team is doing so well.
It's awesome. I mean, this would be now 3 straight years that the Ball State women's basketball team will make the Mid-American Conference tournament, trying to be the highest seed they've been in a while, right? Right now they're sitting with that 2 seed. We're locked up at that 1 position for a while, unfortunately lost to Toledo a couple of weeks ago on the road. But, I mean, this is huge for Ball State. They have not won a Mid-American Conference tournament championship since 2009. So if they're able to do it this year, and this very well could be the group to do it with the experience that they have, it would be huge for Muncie.
Well, from one round ball sport to another, down at the Football 3G, our reporter Andrew Willett and Harrison Jones have the lowdown on the showdown.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. For more on this Cardiff Met Sport TV Ball State Sportslink crossover, we are here from the pitch. I'm Andrew Willett alongside Harrison Jones. It is a beautiful day to be out here. One of the most sunny days that we have seen here on a Super BUCS Wednesday. I believe it's around 11 degrees Celsius. That's around 50 degrees Fahrenheit for those back home. Yeah. But like I said, I'm joined now by Harrison Jones. Harrison, how are we doing today on a lovely day?
Thanks so much, Andrew and Harrison. I cannot wait to watch European football.
I believe Harry Tetlow, Sakbar, and a few other players have been involved, and of course they're in the same league as the team, as the BUCS One's team.
Yeah, 4-1. They're off to a fantastic start. We're having a good time. They're having a good time, and we're getting ready for the Cardiff Met Ones as a couple of big returners for this match that's just about to get started here soon. Tom Vincent and Jake Morris returning. Why is that so important for the Cardiff Met Ones?
So for Tom Vincent, he's our top scorer. I believe he's got 4 goals. So against he's against Solent. He's scored a hat-trick. He scored a goal against, I believe, Hartbury as well. And Jake Morris scored a double against Hartbury. They're mostly our top scorers. But for the Tom Vincent point of view, he adds something different to the game. He's 6'6", so it's not going to be hard to miss him. So the style of play they cross it a lot, and if you're 6'6", you know you're going to head that ball.
Yes, joined here, Harrison knows a lot about Super BUCS Wednesday, but also about football here in this league, as the Cardiff Met squad has already secured their spot in the playoff. What makes today's match important?
So I think today's match is, of course, I think Bristol 2 is the bottom of the league, Cardiff Met are top. We want to try and show and make an impression, you could say, within the match. So you want to make sure that we can make a response and make us a big scoreline, and hopefully Met can score a few goals like they did last year when they won 6-0.
It'll be Bristol looking to come back with a victory, while Cardiff Met looking to keep their hot stretch going. We'll send it right back to you guys in the studio. Thank you for joining me, Harrison Jones, Andrew Willett.
Thank you so much, Andrew and Harrison. I tell you what, Reese, I am so excited to experience European football across the pond. I've seen American soccer, right? I've seen that style of play, but people keep telling me that European football is the way to watch proper football. I'm just excited. What can I expect tonight?
I think you'd expect a really high quality affair. Cardiff Met, they're a pretty good side. They're heading towards the top of the league, so yeah, they're a pretty good side. And expect voices from America and the UK as well, because we've got our commentary team is half American and half Met. So yeah, expect different voices for that. But as we continue to build up for this game, we caught up with Met manager Charlie Cosby.
Was the goal the playoffs this season?
Yeah, the goal was always the playoffs, and in order to get to the playoffs we had to win the league, and so Wednesday we have to win the game to make sure that we win the league. So Wednesday is crucial for us to make sure that we go and do what we set out to do, which was win the league, and then we can really start to think about Surrey in the playoff final, because we know that that's who we're going to play. We're still waiting for the details of that, but we can then really start to think about how we're going to perform in that particular game, whilst obviously keeping an eye on the weekend fixtures as well, and making sure that we're picking up points in phase 2. The boys are ticking over, youth team's doing well, and reserves go and finish off that league as well. So loads of football to be played and some really important games coming up as well.
That was Met manager Charlie Corsby ahead of the exciting match today. Now, Reese, am I getting this right? He's Dr. Corsby as well?
Yeah, he's doctor in sports coaching. So he's a doctor in sports coaching. He coaches Cardiff Met BUCS on a Wednesday, and he's a Saturday player. So if you're trying to find room in his diary, good luck, because he's a busy man.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. So he does a bit of it all, huh?
Yeah, he's a jack of all trades, master of all as well, by the looks of it. So from one Welsh gaffer to another, Wales women have a new manager. Rhian Wilkinson has been announced recently, and Lleucu Wyn is going to tell us a bit more.
It's a big week in Welsh football this week, and after a worldwide search, the Wales women's team have now appointed a new head coach, Rhian Wilkinson. With a very impressive CV, Rhian has represented Canada 183 times, played in 4 World Cups and 3 Olympic Games, been assistant coach for England and Team GB, and achieved championship victory as head coach at Portland Thorns. Rhian has strong Welsh connections, with her mother being from Wales, and she's also very proud of her Welsh heritage.
Very connected to my heritage here, and to be given this opportunity to lead this team that's right on the cusp of doing something pretty momentous is a huge honour.
Whilst I don't necessarily believe that you have needed to be a really successful player to be a really successful coach, I think it does help, especially in this aspect, bringing in a really big name into the FAW to be the head coach of this women's team. I think it definitely gives a bit of an extra sort of gravitas around it, and I think just listening to her speak this week, all of her interviews, she comes across really well. She comes across very passionate, very driven.
Rhian was also in attendance at the friendly between Wales and Ireland on Tuesday, which saw Wales win their first game in 10 months, beating Ireland 2-0.
Yeah, all-round team performance. You can see that they're a team that's brimming with talent, and can't wait to get them to a major tournament, because they're obviously right there.
I think it was a performance and a result that was really needed, and that will definitely give the girls good momentum now going into these qualifiers beginning in April, because it's going to be, a tough campaign. They're going to really need to be on their A game. They're going to need to be strong mentally, because I think those previous experiences of just missing out on qualifying, I think, will definitely be in the back of the girls' minds.
Wilkinson and the FAW team hope to continue this momentum as they face their UEFA Women's Euro 2025 qualifying campaign in April.
A big part of my job is to be a steward to them and to help get these phenomenal athletes who've put this country on the map, get them to their first major tournament.
And now we bring in Lleucu Wyn to the studios. Lleucu, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Lleucu, a big 2 weeks in Welsh women's football. Can you tell us a bit more about what's been going on?
Yeah, they've been flat out with the FAW, to be fair to them. There's been a new signing, manager Rhian Wilkinson, which we just saw in that VT. First win for the Wales team in 10 months against Ireland, winning 2-0 last week, which was a momentous game for them. And a Women's Euro 2025 qualifying round was announced, so yeah.
And let's start with Rhian Wilkinson, obviously new into the job, new into the country as well. What can we expect from her?
Well, she's had such an impressive CV. She's only been in a managerial role since 2017, so that's 5-6 years. But she's got so much under her belt, so much experience. She won 183 caps for Canada. She's been in 4 World Cups and 3 Olympic Games. But she's also been a former England and Team GB assistant coach. So she's got plenty of experience under her belt, yeah.
Yeah, a wealth of experience there. And obviously... the women won last week under interim manager as well. A good win for them, yeah?
Yeah, a momentous game. It was it's going to be a massive boost for them as well going into the Euros qualifying in April. But it's going to be Rhea Wilkinson's job now to really push them. She's always mentioned that Wales is at the cusp of doing something great because former manager Gemma Granger was able to just push them to that last level, but they just missed out at the World Cup. So it's Rhea Wilkinson's job to push them over to the first major tournament.
You mentioned the first major tournament. The big news coming out of European football today is the draw for the Euros qualifiers.
Yeah, I'm quite excited about this.
Good opportunity for Wales, Lee?
Absolutely. Well, I've been looking at the stats, and Wales are 32nd in the FIFA World Rankings, and they're going to be against Ukraine, which is 33rd, Croatia 58th, and Kosovo, which is 100th. So it's looking like a nice, I won't say easy group because we haven't played Kosovo before, but it's looking like a promising group.
Clanky, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate your time. Like we mentioned earlier in the show, rugby coming up at 6:15, and down at Rugby Ones is our own Steph Leonard fieldside. Hi, Steph.
Yeah, well, welcome to Costa del Kincoid. The sun has decided to come out at Rugby 1 today, and luckily as well, as Leeds Beckett have travelled down to Rugby 1 to face the Archers today. Leeds Beckett in 7th, Cardiff Met in 6th. Still plenty to play for the rest of the season for both teams. Both will be in the next round of the BUCS Super Rugby calendar. Cardiff Met still trying to push for that 4th position in the league. That all depends on Bath and Loughborough, but they'll still want to end the season in a relatively strong position. Now, when we look at the form for both sides, Cardiff Met coming off a loss, but against those Exeter boys who have gone on to win the league already this year. They lost 26 points to 7, but Leeds Beckett, on the other hand, they went to bottom of the table. Swansea, they came out 22-7 victors in that one. But when we look at the teams today, well, from a Cardiff Met perspective, it's a relatively inexperienced team. A lot of boys stepping up to the plate for the first time, especially in the BUCS Super Rugby competition. One of the boys who has appeared 8 times in the championship this year, winger Tom Weekly, he scored 2 tries. So I'm expecting something relatively big from him today, hopefully, as he steps up to the mark. But when looking at the 9 and 10 partnership, there are new boys all around. But 9, Carwyn Edwards, he is contracted at Sale Sharks, so I'll be expecting him to step up fairly easy today in the BUCS Super Rugby competition. And then his partner at 10, Tom Howlett, he is an ex-Milford boy, he's stepping up to the plate as well today. 5 debutants in the starting 15, and a possible extra 5 to come off the bench for Cardiff Met today. A lot of changes, perhaps looking a little bit with one eye on the championship action on the weekend as they face Rumney. They'll be looking to continue on top of the championship, but also because of injuries. We know some big injuries for some big names for Cardiff Met so far. Benji Williams, Joe Cowell and Roma Zheng all out. So as I said, plenty to come for tonight on Cardiff Met Sport TV. We'll be streaming the game from 6:15. Kick-off at 6:30. Join us in the sunshine. I'm going to put some sun cream on, I think.
Yeah, it looks lovely down there at Rugby 1, and be sure to get down there. It's 6:30 kick-off, but we're streaming live. If you can't, at 6:15, it's Cardiff Met take on Leeds Beckett, a different Cardiff Met side, but an exciting opportunity for those coming in, as Steph mentioned. And
yeah, we're here as Americans, right? So you might want to know, what are the Americans doing here? This is Transatlantic Storytelling 2024, a partnership between Ball State and Cardiff Met. So why not bring in the main man himself, Mr. Chris Taylor, the head director of Ball State Sports Link. CT, thanks so much for joining us.
This is really exciting to see students from both universities doing over 8 hours of live production today. Makes my heart smile, really, to see what's happening.
Yeah, this is awesome. So just let's get into it. What exactly is, for the people that don't know, what's transatlantic storytelling?
Well, I think, it's been 5 or 6 years ago where Joe Towns, who's the Met program director, reached out, was starting the program here, found out through a little research that maybe we were pretty good at Ball State, and so we tried to help them build their program. And through that process, we both felt like the next step is to connect students in this and to get some folks here. So we brought our first group of students in 2020. It was just phenomenal. And then, pandemic aside, we've kind of reignited the fire here, and we've brought our group over this year, and working with you guys and the Cardiff Met, it's great.
So what are some features that maybe you've seen your students work on that you go, whoa, I'm really excited for this?
Yeah, all of them. I mean, really, like the amount of stuff that we've captured. I was telling our team last night, we're staying at Sport Wales, and we're thankful for that. We got back there last night, and I just gathered the group. I'm like, think about the gigabytes of content that we've captured in the last 24 to 36 hours, like hard drive after hard drive. And so going back and putting that together is going to be really exciting. I think for me personally, in 2020, as we were doing the Sam Gordon story, I met James Ledger, and I had no idea he was visually impaired the first time I met him. And you really wouldn't know that unless you knew the story. And I thought then, I was like, man, wouldn't it be cool if we could tell James's story someday? And now here we are 4 years later, and what he's doing and giving us the access, really all the student athletes and folks we're doing. But James, I think, is really cool because I've seen that connection, and I want to tell his story to the folks in America.
So you mentioned that first interaction between you and Joe around 5-6 years ago. Just take me through your first impressions of meeting him. What was that kind of connection of him reaching out to you? And when did you realize that transatlantic storytelling could be a lot more realistic than you originally thought?
Well, it was really cool. In a sense, it was humbling that someone from across the pond had found out about what we were doing. And it was really kind of really inspiring that someone was asking for our help and to shape a program. And the first thing I remember about Joe, I think, is like, he's just like me. He's doing the thing over in Cardiff, and we're doing it here at Ball State. And I think we share the same storytelling values. We share the same push for quality and professionalism out of our students. At the end of the day, we're just trying to change lives, and that's kind of a big thing to say. But what's happening right now, I know his heart is smiling. I am too, just to see, like, 4 or 5 years ago, now to see us working together on a live broadcast, not just doing features, is really exciting.
So not only have you been able to tell these stories with your students, but you've also got to go to some pretty cool places along the way. What have those experiences been like, and where have you gone?
We've been all over, as you know, and most of this team knows, from touring around Cardiff to Cardiff Castle and Principality Stadium and BBC Wales. The Gower was just one of my favorite places in the world to go and experience. And we had great weather on Saturday, over to Bath on Sunday, and then spending our time here really working on features on a beautiful campus and a sunny day for the last couple of days here on campus too.
Been very, very lucky for the weather. CT, thank you so much for your time. We're so excited to continue transatlantic storytelling.
And staying on the transatlantic storytelling theme, Ball State's men's volleyball team have been crushing it in the MIVA this season. Here's a look at SportsLink's exclusive all-access show with the team.
Alright, welcome to Travel Day with the Ball State men's volleyball team. Kids, always stop for stops. 10:36, about an hour after we were supposed to depart. We are finally on the bus.
I'm locked in.
How do you lock in? How do you
Wait, let me. So if I turn it, it just falls. That's actually really cool. This technology is amazing. Wait. Oh, I broke it.
Braden, how are you feeling?
Tapped in. I'm tapped in. Hey, we got a senior right side dart ball. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the men's volleyball vlog. I want everyone to like, share, interact with it any way possible, and let's have a great trip. Ooh. I forgot my bag.
What's the situation?
Oh, he's coming. He's coming.
Give me a sit rep. What's up?
What?
What happened?
We're locked out, and this is war between us and the Ramblers. This was the last straw. We're gonna get them tonight. We're gonna get them real good.
We're at Potbelly's right now, and I think. How do you say Potbelly? I didn't know how to pronounce it and stuff. P-O-T. What are you getting, Books? I'm going to get the pizza mouse.
I'm gonna get blown away. The wind might take me with.
If I go down.
Man, we got a big match, and we're gonna come in and we want to win and we want to compete.
A second matchup of the year between the Cardinals and the Ramblers. Ball State came out on top in that first go-round. Loyola looking to get some revenge in conference play here this evening. And the opening set, 25-16 to Ball State. It's 2-0 Ball State. Brewers win set 3. Set number 5. And that's it, Ball State. It is the Cardinals as they take set number 5, 15-11, and win this thing 3-2.
We kind of sometimes blow losing out of proportion, and I think as a coach it's hard to do that because you want to win, and our goal is like we want to win now, we want to win later, like we want to compete, and we figured out a way to win, and that's our focus right now is, you know, figuring out ways to win when the situation isn't perfect, and I think that's been the biggest piece for us in turning it around to this winning streak we're on, and I think our guys too are understanding how good we can be too. We're getting close to what we can be, but I still think the best volleyball is ahead of us.
Well, volleyball looks a bit different in America to how it looks at Met. And straight from that to rugby, our reporter Shaky Wynn caught up with Met star Denai Mugabe.
Thanks for joining me here. It's the home of rugby at Cardiff Met, the pitch of Rugby 1. But
I was so stunned when you told me that you had only been playing for 3 years. So it's incredible you've been able to acquire such a high level of skill in such a short time. Do you feel that it's come natural to you?
I feel like definitely when I play my best this season compared to last season, the difference is I'm just more confident. I don't have to think about what I'm doing. I can just make the space. I'm confident I'm going to make the tackle. So I think it's just definitely a mentality and mindset that makes the difference in someone's game.
Well, you're quite lucky at Cardiff Met. You get to have training and coaching from Lisa Newton and Eleanor Snowstill. What experience is it to be trained and coached by them?
Yeah, both of them being ex-Welsh internationals, I think it's class because they've got knowledge that none of us will ever acquire unless we're at that stage in our rugby careers. And Lisa, you know, she's great with the forwards and great with the defence, and then now we've got Eleanor Snowstill, who's amazing in attack. So pairing them two together, I think that's why we're doing so well this season.
And you also got the chance to play at Arms Park. What type of feeling was that?
That was unreal. Like, that felt like a proper, you know, international kind of vibe. Even without the crowd there, just walking into that stadium, you know, not everyone gets to play there. Able to be in those settings is just what drives you even more.
We're on the ground of Rugby 1 here at Cardiff Met, but right over there behind us, I think the biggest hit that I've ever seen on this pitch. Yeah. I'd just like to show you a little bit of a video just to refresh your memory.
I just come off the bench, you know, I was bouncing and I was just raring to get onto the pitch. So I didn't even ask for feedback on that hit. Lisa comes up to me and goes, you're very lucky, you need to lower your body height.
I asked you who your biggest inspiration is, and you said your mum.
Yeah, I think my mum, I've never met somebody with work ethic like my mum. Before we moved to the UK, we all grew up in Zimbabwe, my whole family. I was playing all these sports. My mum was working 3 jobs just to make sure she'd take me to all these sports. I think just seeing my mum work that hard, just seeing her willing to put all that sacrifice in for us.
She must be so proud as well to see your such quick development. You're doing so well in this sport. So are you kind of playing for her as well?
Yeah, so she likes to come down to watch my game. You know, she was there at Cardiff Clash. Every time my parents were there, you know, I just immediately think I've got to put on a bit of a show.
Thank you so much for being here with me tonight, Mugabe.
Thank you for having me.
We have the pleasure now to be joined by 2 stars from the Cardiff Met cricket team, and Chloe Tingle and Sophia Gibbons. Thank you guys so much for joining us on the show today.
Thank you for having us. I understand that you're going on quite a big trip soon to Sri Lanka. Can you maybe tell us a bit more about the trip and about what you're doing out there?
Yeah, so basically we're going to Sri Lanka for a pre-season cricket tour. There's 15 girls and 15 boys going with some of our coaches. It's a 2-week-long tour, so we'll be playing 5 cricket games and also doing some volunteering work with the Foundation of Goodness out there.
Can you maybe elaborate a bit more on the Foundation of Goodness and the good work that they do as well?
Yeah, so we're going out there and we're going to help volunteer out there, doing some like helping them educate them, like help them speak English, and then also coach them like cricket as well as we're out there.
Now, the trip is starting to creep up and up and up. How much is it sinking in at right now? What's the excitement like that? Wow, we're going to Sri Lanka here soon.
Yeah, 16 days, so it's quite scary how fast it's come around, but we are all really excited to go out and enjoy ourselves out there.
And just looking ahead to the season, obviously I think you're using Sri Lanka as a bit of a pre-season tour. What are your hopes and expectations now going into the summer season?
Well, looking on the past 2 seasons I've been at Cardiff Met, we just want to build and build on top of our seasons. We've hit the semi-finals on outdoors every year I've been here, so hopefully we can make it that step further this year and get to the final and hopefully win BUCS gold this year. Big statement, but we can follow through, I reckon.
Well, Sophie, Chloe, thank you so much for coming in and speaking to us about your trip to Zambia, and good luck, enjoy it. Our football men's 2s team faced Nottingham last week at King Coyd. Let's see the highlights from that one.
A triangle played around him. Oh, it's a sharp turn from Sedan. Oh, and a sharp challenge from the fullback. The number 5 diving in 2 feet there.
I don't think that challenge in particular was a red card, but it was a dangerous challenge.
Yeah, so it's Sedan there on a yellow now. Perhaps Phillips and Webb will look to target him. And Cudahy with a lovely touch. Cudahy with a lovely pass. Here's Will Webb racing into the box of Nottingham. A touch back onto his right foot. A strike, and it's whistled past the post. It's rolled just wide. A huge chance for Cardiff Met, the biggest chance we've seen all afternoon. Slightly shaky start from Humphreys, but Dragos. Oh, it's a huge tackle in the centre of the park. It's from Captain Dunn. A huge tackle. The second yellow card is in the referee's hand. He's got a red in the other. He lifts them up and off goes the skipper in the first minute of extra time. Yeah, the man who's come on is Goodman. But it's Raphael on the ball who lofts in towards Carriata. He does win the header. It's hit the post and it's come back to Carriata. And what a block on the line from Louis Lawrence. It's an incredible bit of defensive play from the man with number 5 on his back. Node with a good whip delivery. A touch behind him. Here's Brandon Roberts at the far post. A touch and a finish. There it is for Cardiff Met. What a strike at the back post. The Archers go crazy in the corner. The bench are down the pitch. The manager's down the pitch. There's a huddle going on. The academy players are down the pitch. What a goal in the dying embers for Cardiff Met. 5 minutes to go and Met take the lead in the National Trophy semi-final. Intercepted and there's the final whistle. It's 1-0 Cardiff Met. It's the Archers who make their way to the National Trophy final.
Ooh, how about that finish from Owen Cudahy to give Cardiff Met a magical win? And speaking of that magical moment, our own Cardiff Met analyst Matt Purdy broke it all down. Here it is.
Let's take a look at Cardiff Met BUCS 2's winning goal from the National Trophy semi-final last week. It's important to note here that they're playing against 10 men in a very low block and it's the 110th minute of added time. Unfortunately for Met, they take 1, 2, 3 passes, they move it too slowly and it allows Nottingham to get plenty of bodies around the ball, 5 players surrounding Zach Barr and they have to shift it quicker. Thankfully for that, they do. They move it back and it's Louis Lawrence, this man here who is highlighted, who decides to fizz it out to Abe Node straight into the left back. Now Jack Lyons has said how much he wants his left backs to be attacking down the wing and putting balls into the box. And well, we see exactly that from Node. A delicious cross, and it's Elliot Humphreys, the man we have highlighted here. That third man run drags the defender away and allows for a 2v1 at the back post. From here on, it's all about the finish, and wow, a goal so nice. Let's see it twice. An absolutely fantastic touch to set himself, and a great strike off the bar. And I'll tell you what, the celebrations weren't bad either.
Well, what a goal from Owen Cudahy, and what a bit of analysis from Matt Purdy. And if you enjoyed Matt doing that, well, there's a little more where that came from. Here's one of his analysis of Colwyn Bay. Met's goal against Colwyn Bay a couple of weeks ago.
We're going to take a quick look at Cardiff Met's goal against Colwyn Bay and see how that played out. Now, Reece Payne, it all starts from the goal kick for the visitors. And I'm just going to pause it as the kick is taken. And just tell me a little bit about this defensive shape from Cardiff Met.
Yeah, so they squeeze at the pitch, obviously playing a high line. As we've highlighted here, there's almost, 10 players, 20 players inside this box here. So I think that's really important in terms of pressing and in terms of how quickly you want to win the ball back as a Cardiff Met team.
Yeah, and exactly that. As the ball comes in, we always talk about first contact. Do Cardiff Met get there? Yes, they do. The ball does start to break down a little bit in the centre of the park, but it's really important Cardiff Met apply the pressure, which of course they do in this instance. You see one man, you see the next one go. I'm just going to pause it right here and highlight bodies. This is really important on the transition. Cardiff Met have 1, 2, 3, 4 players surrounding the ball here as it breaks down. And what does that lead to? Well, it leads to a counter-attack. Cardiff Met now 3v2 on the attack. Reece, I'm going to highlight this man in the middle here, Elliot Evans. Tell me a little bit about him and what he does.
Yeah, I think it's just the attitude that Cardiff Met really have, to be able to spring into a counter-attack so quickly after transition and winning the ball. But yeah, the critical scan for me is to be able to be on the move and highlighting key areas where they want to win the ball and areas where he wants to receive the ball and the players around him. I think that's really impressive for Elliot Evans to be able to do that in such a high-pressured situation just like that.
Yeah, he makes that run directly down the middle of the pitch and he does it with pace. More importantly, he also scans, as you said, for his man on the left wing. So as the clip rolls on, 3v2, Cardiff Met attacking with plenty of pace and the ball comes in. Elliot Evans has a decision to make. He can either play the ball to his right or he can play it to his left. What does he do and why does he do it?
Yeah, so if we just roll it on just ever so slowly here for the clip, we see, if you stop it here for me, Matt, Perfect, thank you. So we see here, he can either slide the ball in here, into this area here, or he can slide it towards his left, to almost like a reverse pass coming from the left winger. And I think he makes the correct decision because the defender's running back towards him from the almost like right centre-back position, which means his body weight's going one way, and actually he lays the ball off into the left winger, which makes it an easy 1v1 finish against the goalkeeper.
Yeah, lovely finish and a great goal for Cardiff Met.
Well, some lovely work from Matt, the analyst at Cardiff Met, by the looks of it, and Rhys Payne there. Are you excited for this game today, Dom?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. I mean, whenever Cardiff Met and Bristol come together, it's always exciting, right? I mean, I did a little bit of my homework right before I got here, and listen, Cardiff Met plays with a lot of energy, a lot of passion. You're always going to get that from any Cardiff Met team or squad that you put out on any kind of pitch, any kind of playing surface. So I'm excited, and I'm also particularly excited just to see the European style of football, right? I think that's going to be the big thing that stands out is what's the difference in strategy and gameplay between American soccer and European football.
Well, I know the standard here is so high, and Cardiff Met plays such a good brand of football as well, so I'm sure you should really enjoy yourself there. Now, let's have a look at Cardiff Met's best moments of the season so far.
After last year's playoff defeat to University of Chichester, Cardiff Met hope to make a return to the top flight in their second season. The opening day fixture was against the team they pipped the playoff spot from, Bristol Ones. It was defeat on the opening day as Cardiff Met suffered a 2-1 defeat. The away side scored their goals from Javier Blesquez and Ruben Vent, with Callum Jenkins grabbing the only goal for Cardiff Met. Charlie Cosby's men responded with a 3-0 win against Hartpury, with Joe Bowen opening the scoring with a long-range strike. Drake Morris got his first call-up to the team and he impressed the manager as he grabbed a brace with 2 brilliant finishes. Met kept their scoring boots on as they travelled away to Solent as Tom Vincent grabbed a hat-trick. The Cymru Premier star was a key player on the day as a former star of the Cymru Premier, Brandon Roberts, also scored on the day. The Archers had a further 2 away games as it had a 0-0 draw with Bristol Ones, which followed up with a 4-1 win over Hartpury. Vincent had his scoring boots on again as he grabbed one of the goals. Jake Morris also added to his tally as Finn Skiverton and Harry Rowe grabbed their first goals of the season. The return to the campus was a big one. The Archers secured a 2-0 win over Solent. Josh Williams grabbed the first goal of the game from a goalkeeper mistake as Finn Skiverton scored one of the most skillful goals we have seen at Kincoy campus.
Finds Charlie Bullock, who we just spoke about. Charlie Bullock, he's going to try and skim around defenders here, but it's a great serve from Finn Skiverton. Goes past the man, and what a finish from Finn Skiverton! Scored in the weekend, what a finish from Skiverton!
The last game the BUCS Ones played was a game against today's opponents, Bristol Twos, as we saw JD Cymru players Haben Sampson and Charlie Bullock grabbing goals against Bristol. Finally, our BUCS Twos side have set themselves up a cup final tie following a 1-0 win over Nottingham in extra time. We saw brilliant scenes in the stands following Owen Cudahy's goal, which sent them to the final, which will be played against Birmingham in 2 weeks' time.
Well, some absolute Met limbs there. Dom, I'm going to ask you quickly for your score prediction for this one.
Okay. I'm going to go 3-1 Archers.
Ooh.
That's what I'm going to take. I'm going to take that right now. I could give it another goal or two for Cardiff Met, but I'm going to say 3-1.
Well, we're going to hand over to commentary. Dom,
Yeah.
take us away.
Absolutely. It's going to be Hugh Gwynn and Jordan Climbs over at the pitch. This has been Up the Archer. Thanks so much for tuning in. Football between Bristol and Cardiff Met is coming up next with you and Jordan. Take it away.
Enjoy.
Well, thank you, Dom, Rhys, and the rest of the team in the studio, and welcome into Kincoid campus for the Western South Tier 1 conference battle between the Cardiff Met Ones and the Bristol Twos. I'm Jordan Climbs alongside my new friend, Hugh Gwynn, and we're new friends because of this awesome initiative that we call Transatlantic Storytelling.
Yeah, it's great to be here with you today, Jordan. Yeah, it's excellent to be working alongside the Americans this week, doing live broadcasting, talking about some interesting feature interviews. So yeah, I'm looking forward to watching this match between Cardiff Met and Bristol Twos in the Western Tier 1.
Well, let's get right into it. About to start here. Let's go a little bit into the lineups that we're going to see from both of these squads.
Yeah, no problem. So we'll start off with the Cardiff Mets lineup this afternoon. Harry Irving in goal, and they've gone for 3 at the back. Evan Cadwallader, Griff Morgan, and Kian Williams. They're playing two wing backs, Charlie Bullock and Barney Sodi. Callum Jenkins playing centre defensive mid. Kyle Coleman, centre mid. Haben Sampson, centre attacking mid. And then 2 up front, Josh Williams and Finn Skiverton. And on the bench, it's Ben Haynes, Alfie Jones, Joe Bowen, Jake Morris and Tom Vincent. And the starting 11 of Bristol 2s today is Max Dement, Callum Mountain, Stephen Wayne, Ben Spano, Joe Marchant, Henry Aldis, Ruben Fent, Sami Buchababa, Marcus Gui, Faniki Deche and Adam Sokal.
Well, going to be a impressive match that we get to watch this afternoon. It's very important as well, specifically for Cardiff Met.
Yeah, it's a very big game for Cardiff Met because if they win this match, that's going to mean they finish top of their division. They've automatically qualified to play in the playoff to try and get into the Premier South Division. So they'll play against Surrey in a few weeks to try and qualify for the Premier South.
Could not have said it better. We got a big one. We'll see who can get it done. We're underway. High kick to the far side of the field. Ball with Bristol. It's a nice pressure. Stolen away by Cardiff Met. No work down the pitch. Nearly a header. It went over the head. And now sent back the other way. Both teams trying to get themselves established in this match. Another kick. And kicked away by the keeper Irving for for Bristol.
It's going to be an interesting game, I think, Jordan, because Cardiff Met's currently top of their league. They've had a very good season, whilst Bristol 2s, they haven't had the season they probably would have liked to have had. They're currently bottom of the table with only 1 point after a draw. So they'll be looking to come here to King Cod Campus and really cause an upset. But Cardiff Met, they're looking to be going to that playoff match with loads of confidence. So they'll be hoping for a big win this afternoon.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that because I don't know if you guys talk about it here, but back in the States, we always talk about an underdog mentality. As you said, Bristol kind of struggling coming into this match, of course, have not won a match this season, just have the 1 tie. And so for Cardiff Met, they're riding high right now. Maybe we'll see a little bit of an underdog story this afternoon, but only time will tell.
And both teams played against each other 2 weeks ago, where Cardiff Met came out on top with a 2-0 victory.
That was on the Bristol campus, as now Bristol working inside, trying to get on the scoreboard for us. As a shot goes up, and it's in. A goal early for Bristol. But an offside called, actually. So going to be no goal.
Yeah, that's exactly, well, obviously not ideal that it's an offside decision in the end, but what a good start for Cardiff Met.
Oh, well, there's more confusion, but we have a goal. All right, it is going to be a goal.
Sorry, there was a bit of confusion here in the commentary position, but they have given the goal to Cardiff Met. What a start for the Archers, going 1-0 ahead in the first minute of the match.
All right, after the confusion, we're back going. Cardiff Met up 1-0. Bristol trying to work it around. Kicked into the keeper. Sends it high. The ball just floats and comes right back down. Met back on the attack. It's stolen away. Working down the near side. Finding Wayne. The ball knocked out of bounds.
I think Bristol will be extremely disappointed with how that goal happened there, because they were looking to come here and be nice and solid and compact right at the start of this match. So they will be disappointed with that. And they're through again now.
A high one, it bounces in. Back-to-back goals in just a short period of time. Cardiff Met on top early, trying to establish their dominance As we said, the much better team coming in, trying to win the league with a win this afternoon. And what a fantastic start.
Yeah, Jordan, what an excellent start from Cardiff Met. Just looking for that ball over the top, nice and early, into Josh Williams, who just lofts it over the oncoming keeper to make it 2-0 to Cardiff Met after only a bit less than 4 minutes into this side. It's going to be an uphill battle now for Bristol Twos to get back into this game.
Uphill battle is correct. First offensive opportunity may be coming for Bristol. Pressure on the far side, trying to work it in. Cardiff good defensively, knocked out of bounds off of an archer.
But this is the first chance that Bristol Twos get to attack in this game, so they'll be hoping for a good corner now, put it in a dangerous area and try and put their head on this chance.
So here comes that corner kick. Nice grab by Irving. As now they'll get set to go the other way.
A nice confidence booster for the keeper too. It's always nice right at the start of a match, just getting your hands on the ball and being nice and confident from those set plays and being commanding. It makes a real difference for those centre-backs knowing that they've got a strong keeper in goal.
Working back the other way, trying to fight it inside. Good dribble, but knocked away. Underneath, high kick over the goal. And past the back line. So 2-0 early on. Bristol trying to start something fast. They got to do it quickly because, as we've seen already, this Met team, they can get on top of you fast.
Yeah, 100%. We spoke with Emlyn Lewis and Charlie Colesby before the match, and they said that they want their team to play full metal football and be nice and attacking from the off. And that's exactly what we've seen so far. They really try and play on the front foot and try and play in behind the Bristol Twos defence.
And something that you said as well, from the last time that these two squads played, just 2 weeks ago, it was a 2-1 victory for Cardiff Met. So happy to get that victory, right? But at the same time, their coach said that, hey, we should have won that match by even more. They're coming into this match with that mentality of, hey, we kind of played sluggish as trying to go up 3-0. Talk about sluggish trying to get that out of the way, but it's blocked away by Bristol. However, ball stays with Cardiff. Quickly knocked out. And grabbed by Bristol, play to the keeper.
But yeah, just going back to your point there, I think it's important that they try and be ruthless and try and take their chances, and that's what they've done so far. And yeah, because these players, they're playing for a spot in the Cymru Premier team, so it's absolutely massive that they perform well in front of Emlyn Lewis, the assistant manager, and Charlie Colesby, the manager, because they're going to push and try and get them into the Cymru Premier sides. Because as we see at Cardiff Met, there's a real progression from the BUCS side into the Cymru Premier.
Another kick in and a good save, but their second attempt goes. And Cardiff Met ones are up 3-0 early on. They cannot be stopped.
Yeah, what a start. 3-0 after 7 minutes. Finn Skiverton with just the rebound there and slotting it into an empty net. What a season Finn Skiverton's had. As I just mentioned right before that goal, there's a real progression from the BUCS side into the Cymru Premier, and he's one player that's performed really well for the Cymru Premier side since playing there this season. He scored his first goal against Bala Town a few weeks ago, so he's in a real confident mood, and yeah, he's put his side 3-0 up. What a start.
That also Skiverton's third goal in BUCS play this year. As you mentioned, he had 1 goal in Cymru play. Had 14 games as well. All right, 3-0 quickly. See if they can keep pouring it on. Movement continues to go, but it's quickly stolen away by Bristol. Still have not had a quality offensive opportunity yet.
Yeah, it's hard for Bristol, and it's really hard when you've conceded 3 goals after only 7 minutes gone. You've got to try and keep your heads up and try and stay calm and hopefully try and get there way back into this game. But it's going to be hard. They need to try and keep possession of the ball, be a bit more careful when they're going forwards, because once Cardiff Met gets a hold of the ball, they're looking dangerous.
Well, 3-0, yeah, that's dangerous early on. Just like you said. Also some sort of balance, because you want to try to get some of that attacking pressure, right, to try to come back into the match, but at the same time, if you're sending too many guys to the offensive side, then also that leaves it open for the other team to go in and make the score even more.
Yeah, it's a tough decision for the manager. You've got to think, are they going to shut up shop and be a bit more defensive and try and not leak more goals? Or are they going to try and push forwards a bit more and try and cause Cardiff Met a few problems? So far, we've seen Bristol be a bit lacklustre defensively and concede goals too easily. But good tackle there as Barney Sodi was going forwards.
Good pressure by Met to keep it going the other way, but now a high kick. Trying to get on offensive, but a nice header. Knocked inside, played by Irvin. High kick over to Cadwalder. On our near side, down that sideline. Good contest happening right in front of our booth, as now it's knocked past the sideline. Played inside by Sampson. High kick, far side. Finds Sodi. Sodi working it in. A lot of guys in the box thrown in there. Header, and it's another goal. That's 4-0 for Cardiff Met.
What a goal again for Cardiff Met. Sampson with an excellent crossfield pass over to Barnaby Sodi. A good cross into the box, and Cardiff Met managed to finish the chance, put themselves 4-0 up in the driving seats at the moment in this match.
They're in the driver's seat, and I think maybe another country at this point. It's been fast already. Well done by the Cardiff Met ones, who again, they're playing this afternoon for some pretty big stakes, trying to win the league with this one, and it's off to a hot start.
Yeah, it's massive that Cardiff Met go into that match against Surrey in a few weeks with confidence, because that is a big game to decide if they're going to go up to the Premier South League.
A dangerous play inside. Sorry to cut you off there, but nicely kicked out.
Yeah, whilst Cardiff Met are in a real confident mood, it feels like Bristol 2s are falling apart right now. The passes aren't quite connecting, and I feel like there's not much communication happening on the pitch.
Well, there's a lot of communication on one side, but just a lack thereof on the Bristol side.
Yeah, and communication is massive in football. You've got to make sure that defensively you're talking. If you're a centre-back, you're telling your left-back or right-back to push in. And on that occasion, for that fourth Cardiff Met goal, maybe a lack of communication, and Barnaby Sodi just pounced at that opportunity. A good cross into the box, into a dangerous area. And every time I've watched Barney Sodi play, he's got a wand of a left foot, and he's always danger on the attack. Good movements from him once again there.
At midfield, kicking it inside. Finds Bullock. Trying to move it into the box, but hit off of another Bristol player. Some good work, but more pressure from Cardiff Met. And a foul called.
That's really good work there from the Bristol 2's number 9, Sami Buchababa there, just holding off the Cardiff Met defender, because that's going to give his team a bit more of a chance to attack now. And for a second there, I thought it was a bit wary for Bristol 2 to try and play out from the back, but they did a good job of keeping possession of the ball and looking to play forwards.
Trying to play it inside, it was Mountain who had the kick, but it was stolen away swiftly by Cardiff Met. Once again, have controlled possession throughout this early match. Nice contest for the ball. Taken by Jenkins. Working back to Williams. Ian Williams inside. Kicked out. Working it around midfield. And too far down the sideline. Bristol takes possession.
Another positive thing about being 4-0 up this early in the match is Cardiff Met have got a few players that are just coming back from injury. So Tom Vincent, he's been injured for a while now, and he's a player looking to get some minutes. So hopefully they can bring him on and he can make even more difference.
Nice tackle to get that ball away. However, taken right back by Cardiff Met. Sampson to the far side. Sodi back to the midfield. Ball knocked away for a second. Grabbed back by the Archers.
You can see how relaxed Cardiff Met on the ball are on the ball. They're in no rush really to go forwards. They can keep possession of the ball because being 4-0 up so early in the match, they can. They're in a comfortable position right now.
But as you were talking about earlier, of course, this match has big implications not only for league play, but also because a lot of these guys, they want to try to play in the company Premier League. And so got to show your skills even though you're up 4-0 at this point. Try to get yourself a couple more goals and get that resume up, right?
Yeah, 100%. These players are all bats on it out to try and make an appearance in the Cymru Premier side. As I mentioned earlier, Finn Skiverton, he's made a few appearances for the Cardiff Met team that play in the Cymru Premier, and a few other players are making a real stake to try and get into that squad. And today, actually, they've announced the Cymru C squad to face against England C in a few weeks, and the assistant manager, Emily Lewis, has been included in that. So it really shows that if they play well in the BUCS team and play well in the Cymru Premier side, they've got some real opportunities to play in front of a few scouts and try and make it professional even.
You talked about that C-team squad that was selected today. That's Tom Price, Sam Jones, and as an American, it's so weird to see that the assistant manager is going to be playing some football in the C League. It's pretty cool to see because it's not something that we would see back in the States. The assistant actually going out and playing some football on their own, but it's such an interesting dynamic, and it's cool to see how it's done differently on this side of the world.
Yeah, it's something that you see quite often on Cardiff Met because as soon as people come here to study, they tend to stay and work at Cardiff Met. They do a master's course or they do a PhD and keep on working here, as we've seen with Emily Lewis.
A shot worked inside, hit off the post. Now went past that line.
The Cardiff Met are looking very dangerous as soon as they get the ball out to the wide areas. They're looking to take their man on and get the ball into the box and cause some problems to the Bristol defence.
4-0, that's a lot of problems. Trying to create some more.
Yeah.
High kick headed away. A whistle blown.
But just going back to your point there about the Cymru C squad playing against England C in a few weeks, Emlyn Lewis, he studied here a few years ago and he's decided to stay on, and now he's a assistant manager with the first team BUCS squad, and it just shows the environment and the positivity around Cardiff Met that they want to stay here and they see real opportunities if they stay with Cardiff Met. And a few years ago, Will Evans, that played for Cardiff Met at the time, played for the Cymru C squad at Caernarfon against England, and that gave him the opportunity to progress into the professional ranks, and now he plays for Newport. So it shows how important the Cymru C game is, really.
And you mentioned how people want to come back to Cardiff Met, right? And even if you're just joining this broadcast and you're like, why is this guy with an American accent talking? Well, it's Ball State University partnering with Cardiff Met University. Ball State is a university back in the United States. We're doing, it's called Transatlantic Storytelling. So we come over telling some feature stories, of course, doing live broadcasts like this. So many projects going on that's amazing. But yeah, like I was saying, even in my short time here at Cardiff Met University, you kind of just see how close knit everyone is. The campus itself is really cool, and of course the sporting environment is awesome, and it's being shown this afternoon with a 4-0 score right now.
Yeah, Cardiff Met are in a really confident mood, and they'll be hoping that they can score a few more goals. And yeah, they probably have put this game to bed already, but Bristol will be hoping otherwise. They'll be hoping that they can change things around, but it's going to be a real uphill battle. But they've got to make the most of these set-piece opportunities as they have now.
It's Henry Aldous to play it in for Bristol. Still trying to find a first quality offensive opportunity. Maybe we'll get it here. Working inside. And I'm taken by Cardiff Met. Working down the far sideline, back in. With Jenkins. And kicked around. To the near sideline. A high boot. A missed header. It was Sampson who tried to come in for Cardiff Met, but could not get there. He's got the pressure. And now good play to knock that one away. Barney Sodi. But a whistle behind the play.
Yeah, really good pressure there from Barney Sodi, making sure that he's pressing once the Bristol 2's player gets his first touch.
Working in is Sampson with a quick run inside. But another whistle. All goes with Bristol. As we get set for this kick here, we talked about it a little bit. Transatlantic storytelling, such a cool initiative that we've got to share, and I talked about it a little bit from the American perspective, but I want to hear it more from the Welsh perspective as well. How has it been for you and all the rest of your classmates to have the Americans here learn from each other and get this awesome experience?
Yeah, no, it's amazing working alongside you, telling these amazing stories of these amazing people, and working alongside you on these live broadcasts. It gives you a different perspective, and it's really interesting learning a bit more about the American culture, and yeah, seeing the differences between sport in the two countries, because in America, soccer or football isn't...
You said it, not me. I was told I can't say soccer, okay? It's got to be football.
Oh, I've just said it.
That's on you. Like you were saying.
Yeah, it's just interesting to see how different sports are popular, because in America, sports like American football and basketball and baseball are the most popular sports. And I'm just interested to learn, like, how do you find is soccer different in Wales rather than the US? What are the differences you've seen so far?
Yeah, I think the play, of course, in all of Europe really is it's to another level, right? And it's because they have higher leagues here and all that as well. But it's been cool to see the culture around it is very different, as Bristol trying to work inside. High kick. This is to the right side. It was Marcus Gui who sent it in for the Bristol 2s.
Now, it was good to see Bristol playing a bit quicker there, playing with a bit more intensity and tempo, and trying to get their shot off early, because that's probably the first shot of the afternoon. Unfortunately there, they couldn't quite get the shot on target. But yeah, promising signs.
So 4-0, Cardiff Met, and their possession. Played inside, off ahead. So grabbed by the goalkeeper. Trying to find somewhere to pass it. Rolls it backwards. Kicked away by Sokal. Good pressure defensively.
It's really interesting to see Bristol 2s still continuing to play the ball out from the back, even though they're losing 4-0. It could be an indication of the culture and the style of play they want to try and play. Doesn't matter if they're losing, they're still going to try and stick to their principles and play out from the back.
Is that a decision you kind of agree with? Do you think they stick to their principle at a point like this, or do you think the principle has kind of put them down 4-0 and so you got to switch something up? Oh, that's why we'll first watch this play inside. Centering pass, nobody home. But quickly behind the play, shot is off and grabbed by the goalkeeper.
I personally think in this situation, when you're losing 4-0, that you should try and play forward a bit quicker and cause problems for the Cardiff Met defence, because if they're playing out from the back and they keep on losing the ball, that's not going to make any that's not going to be any danger for Cardiff Met. So if I was playing this match for Bristol, I'd try and encourage them to go forwards a bit more and play a bit more direct, as they have done just there.
Trying to get an offensive opportunity, down 4-0, hits a body and grabbed by Irving. He slows down for a second, trying to get things established. Played to Caldwell. High boot inside. Chasing is Skiverton. Knocked into Williams. Williams trying to find a man, but stolen away by Bristol. And a high boot down the pitch. Chant. He's trying to get it for Cardiff Met, could not get there. We played by Decci. Now inside for Fentz. Knocked up off a chest and booted back towards the Cardiff offensive side of the pitch. A good play by Bristol to get back in. Offense has been minimal this afternoon for the Bristol Twos. Looks like it'll continue that way. Moving the other way is Sampson. Finding Skiverton. Skiverton going backwards. Now to midfield. On the far side. Kicked inside, and a good save, knocked away. And goes out of bounds.
Really good effort from Kian Williams. A good phase of play from Cardiff Met. Just moving the ball from left to right. Nice and calm on the ball. Over to Kian Williams. He plays his football for Cantwit Major on a Saturday, and a really good effort to test the keeper.
Setting up the corner from the far side. Trying to pour it on even more. That one misses all the bodies. And goes out of bounds on the near side sideline.
Yeah, a player that's usually so good from set pieces and corners just puts a little too much power on that, and yeah, it goes out of play.
We had a fast start again, 4-0 the score currently. We've slowed down a bit, but I think that might just be because Cardiff Met, they know that they're up by so much, and so maybe they're playing a little bit less aggressive right now.
Yeah, it was an amazing start from Cardiff Met. They were really ruthless in front of goal. They've tried to play quite direct from the start, tried to play the ball over the Bristol defence, and yeah, as you said, yeah, 4-0 after around, what was it, 15 minutes?
So 15, 10, somewhere in that range. It was fast. Matt continues to hold the ball. Knocked around to the far side. Looked like he was going to kick it in for a second, decided to try to take it himself, now working it backwards and finding an open Cadwallader on the near side. He's got a shot, kicks it inside the box, off ahead, and back out. Good tackle attempt. Still held by Cardiff Met.
Cardiff Met do a really good job of regaining possession once they lose it. They're on the Bristol players' feet straight away to try and get the ball back.
That's got to be so frustrating for Bristol right now, because not only you're down by so much, but you're rarely able to even possess the ball, right?
Yeah, it's really hard, especially when you're chasing shadows, when you're running around quite a bit. You get tired, and once you get possession of the ball, you tend to make a few more mistakes. So they need to try and just be a bit more calm on possession. But as I said earlier, Cardiff Met do a really good job of pressing them and forcing them to make the mistakes.
And the press continues. Couple of heads, kicked away, and past the far sideline. All right, so 4-0. I want to know, what's your general evaluation of this match so far? Obviously, domination by Cardiff Met, but what does that mean for the future? Because, of course, we said it, if Cardiff Met wins, if they win this match today, which it's looking that way, still a lot of ball to play, but it's looking that way, then they would also win their league and have a chance to go on to do some more, even more special things in the future. But right now, what's your kind of evaluation of specifically Cardiff Met and the dominance they've had so far in this match?
Yeah, it's been a really strong performance in this first half so far. They've just been really ruthless. They've made the most of the opportunities that they've had, and they're really confident on the ball. As we can see, Kid Williams playing into Samson here. They just keep popping the ball left and right. And there's a few dangerous players for Cardiff Met.
Dangerous play defensively for Bristol, but knocked away with Bullock. Bullock trying to do a little dance and get it around. Goes high up into the air, off ahead, and misses the right post by a couple of feet. We go by feet in America, so I'll say feet.
Yeah, I don't know how many times we've seen that this afternoon. Cardiff Met playing the ball out wide and looking to cross the ball into the box. Unfortunately, on that occasion, they can't direct the header on goal. But Barnaby Sodi on the left-hand side, looking very dangerous. And then on the other side, Charlie Bullock looking extremely dangerous when they get the ball and causing problems for the Bristol defenders.
Move towards the near side sideline, misses everyone, and goes out of bounds. So Cardiff Met ball again. Working it backwards, in the defensive zone, playing it to the goalkeeper, Irving. A little bit of a miscommunication, but ended up being grabbed by Cadwallader. Again, played inside to Irving. Now with an opportunity for a rush. Bristol there to head it away. But then Cardiff Met, again, just right wherever the ball's going, they're always right there. Cadwallader. And Jenkins. Trying to find a man on the far side. Good head away. I'll let that one dribble out of bounds.
As I mentioned earlier, I think there's a bit of lack of communication from Bristol's side. They all seem to be running all over the place, and they're not really pressing together, and that means that there's loads of spaces all over the pitch for Cardiff Met to exploit.
Again, Jordan Climbs alongside Hugh Gwynn. Little Ball State Cardiff Met combination we got going on here in the booth. We'll change it up at half as well. We'll get some new guys up here. But for now, you got us. And we got a good game if you're a Cardiff Met fan. The ones up 4-0.
Yeah, plenty of goals. Yeah, if you're a Cardiff Met fan, you will be absolutely delighted with this first half performance. And they're playing some nice football too, nice and relaxed on the ball.
A low head. Played by Jenkins. And kicked around the pitch. Finds Williams. Kean Williams sends it deep. Good hustle for Cardiff Met to try to get there, but knocked out by the keeper, finding another archer. It's Williams. Williams working inside. Kicking it inside the box. Hits off of a Bristol player, but rolls out of bounds towards the sideline. I think they hit off a Bristol player. Yep, so they'll give the ball to Cardiff Met. Thrown in. Now with Jenkins. Jenkins trying to work inside the box. Can't get there. Stolen by Bristol. Trying to kick it out, but another steal this time from Cadwallader. He sends it far. Centering pass off ahead, off the keeper, and it goes in again. Another goal for Cardiff Met, and now that's 5-0 for the Archers.
Yeah, another great goal for Cardiff Met. The ball going over to the left-hand side to Barney Sodi. That man again, just looking to take on the right back. He does. Good cross into the box, and it's it's Josh Williams that heads it in to the back of the net. The keeper did get a hand on it, but that's not enough to stop it from going into the back of the net. Cardiff Met 5, Bristol 2's 0.
And that was Josh Williams' second goal of the BUCS season this year. First one came versus Solent at home. We're back underway. 5-0 now. How about it if you're an Archer fan? If you're a Bristol fan, then, well, hang around. Maybe things will get better.
I think we mentioned a little bit before the match started how tough it was going to be for Bristol to come to Kincoid campus and play a team that's top of the league and in confident mood in Cardiff Met. Bristol 2's only having 1 draw and 1 point so far this season, and it's always going to be a tough game, but I never knew it was going to be this tough.
Yeah, 5-0, that's pretty tough. Again, these two squads played here about 2 weeks ago, and it was a 2-1 win for Cardiff Met. A much different story this afternoon, came in with a different intensity.
Yeah, they've come in, they've turned up, and yeah, they've worked really hard. They've made sure that they've took their chances, and that's what you need to do in a football game. So far, Harry Irving, he's been really quiet, hasn't really had much to do, but Bristol will be hoping to turn things around and hopefully test Harry Irving a bit more.
It's been an easy match so far for the man who just had the ball, Harry Irving, the goalkeeper for Cardiff Met. As they work it backwards. Back to midfield. And a high boot in. To Sampson. Sampson trying to find somewhere to go. Pushed back. And goes to the far sideline. Kicked in the box. Off ahead. And misses the right corner of the post.
Yeah, that was almost a recreation of that 5th goal there. Barney Sodi looking for the cross into the box. Into the head of Josh Williams, and he can't direct it towards goal. But Cardiff Met are looking very dangerous once they get the ball out to the left and the right flank.
Let's talk about it one more time, because again, if you are just joining us, I sound weird. From America, Transatlantic Storytelling is the initiative. Ball State University and Cardiff Met. We talked about some of the storytelling, so let's get into specifically what you're doing, because you've got a really cool story that you've been helping on. I know you really wanted to stress what it was, so I'll let you kind of explain just one of the many stories that Ball State and Cardiff Met are telling.
Yeah, so I'm working on a feature with the Paralympic athlete James Ledger. He's a sprinter that competes in the T11 event, and we've had the chance to meet him, meet his dad, and meet his coach over the past few days. And he's a really interesting person with an amazing backstory, and he's hoping to compete in the Paralympic Games in Paris in 2024 in August. So we're trying to tell his story as best as we can, and let's hope that he makes it to the Paralympic Games, because yeah, he's certainly got the talent to do it and the capabilities.
So many great stories. I'm working on a story on Lynn Davies. If you're from around these parts, you might know who he is. So that's booted out towards the sideline. That's pretty high. It's off the netting. As I was saying, so many awesome stories going on between Ball State and Cardiff Met. Stay tuned for that. A big documentary will be coming out, produced hopefully in a couple of months. It should be here, so you know, can't say set your calendars because we don't have a date yet, but certainly keep it in the back of your mind, because greatness is coming soon. And I don't want to put too high of a standard on ourselves, but it's been so fun what we've been able to do. As it's knocked inside the box and goes to the right side of the keeper.
Yeah, Kian Williams looking for the shots there, just going wide of the post, but it shows his confidence. The player that plays for Llantwit Major.
Could be a good opportunity for Bristol. It's with Dechi, knocked away. Good play by Bullock defensively. It sets up a corner.
Yeah, Faniki there finding himself in a bit of space and winning the corner for his side. So Bristol will be hoping to get those big players up now, and they've decided to take the corner short.
Now basically what that corner would have been, but nobody there to get it for Bristol, straight into the outstretched arms of Irving.
Yeah, easy collection for Harry Irving there. Not had much to do, but yeah, good eyes alert there to pick the ball up. But that was a big chance for Bristol to come forwards there with the corner, and in my opinion, I think they should have just put the ball into the box straight away rather than go short for the corner. But as I mentioned earlier, it's good to see that they're sticking to their principles and playing it short. And if that's the way they want to play, it's good that they stick to it.
I don't know if this plays too much of a factor into it, but also the wind kind of blowing right at him on that side of the corner, so maybe something interesting where you don't want to try to test the wind in a situation like that, and you decide just to play it short. But either way, didn't work out, and Cardiff Met, now they're on the offensive side. Morgan playing near side, finds Cadwallader, and back to Morgan. Stays at midfield, and now working back towards the box. Trying to find a sixth goal. They poured him on in this match. Stolen away by Bristol. And now taken by Met once again. Played to the keeper, Irving.
Yeah, Bristol work really hard to get the ball back, and it seems like they just they get a bit tired once they get possession of the ball, and they just concede possession a little bit too easily for my liking. So they need to make sure that they try and keep possession as well as they can.
A good steal there for a second, but again the possession taken away by Cardiff Met. Now back with Bristol, but another takeaway on the possession, but they'll say ball will go with Bristol.
Yeah, Barney Sowdy's a real trickster. We see him do that very often, and a nice roulette there to go past the Bristol right back. And yeah, he's in a really confident mood this afternoon. Created a few goals so far.
I'm not going to say you don't see moves like that in America, but that's pretty darn good. I love to see it out here.
It's good to see those players that have got a bit of flair do something a little bit different, isn't it?
Yeah, especially in a match like this where you're already up 5-0, and maybe you're trying to do something cool, kind of boost your resume a little bit more as well. Also just give the fans some fun, give us some fun, right?
It's a really good skill to put on the show reel, as they say.
As a team, Cardiff Met, well, it's been quite the show. Played down the near sideline. With Skipperton, makes the pass. Jenkins playing inside, dangerous play, but Irving gets there. And with Williams far side, working down the sideline. Has room at midfield, kicks it in. Hustling is the keeper, and Bristol takes it away, rolled out. Trying to go on the offense again. Kicked in, but stolen away. Cadwallader working with it. Finding Bullock. Put it in for Coleman. Taken away by Bristol. Now Bristol, maybe with an opportunity, some space to work. With Wayne. Back out to Mountain. Callum Mountain boots it inside. That's a cool name, by the way. Goes over ahead and grabbed by Irving.
That's probably Bristol's best passage of play throughout the entire match. Just passing the ball well, good interplay. And then Callum Mountain looking for the ball in behind. Didn't quite work out, but a good sign for Bristol.
Nearly an opportunity for Cardiff Met. Trying to find Skiverton inside, instead taken away by Bristol, but Cardiff Met, well, as soon as there's one takeaway, usually the Archers get it right back. continuing the theme, trying to continue the scoring. And Will Otter playing it for Irving.
Cardiff Met are going to be more than happy just to keep possession of the ball now with only about 90 seconds left of this first half.
Well, maybe an opportunity first, but instead kicked towards the far sideline.
It's going to be a real challenge for Bristol 2's manager to try and galvanise his team. It's going to be a real big team talk now to try and inspire his team to get back out there in the second half and hope and challenge Cardiff Met.
The header goes back to the near side of the box. Trying to get one more on the scoreboard before the end of the half. Good play by Bristol. Just trying to get out of the defensive zone. Kick, but taken away by Cardiff Met. Working back towards the box. It's good ball handling and knocked away off of Sokal. In about 30 seconds. Back inside the box, off ahead of the Bristol player. There's now a high boot. Finds Bochababa. Got to work in fast. Half is closing down. Gui pushes backwards to midfield. Back in for Gui. Time running out though. Down the sideline. And that does it for a half number one. Cardiff Met up 5-0. Hugh, an impressive performance we saw from the Archers.
Yeah, what a big and good performance from Cardiff Met there. They've been really ruthless so far this half, scoring 5 goals. Some really good performances from some really important players for Cardiff Met. Bristol 2s will be disappointed conceding 5 in that first half, but it's going to be a real big team talk for the manager now to try and inspire his team to come out here in the second half and hopefully put a better performance in.
And before we throw it back to the studio, what are your expectations for half number 2? Do you think we see the scoring that we saw in this half, or do you think that maybe it's dwindling a little bit?
Well, Cardiff Met were really comfortable just passing the ball around nicely, so they won't be in any rush to try and score any more goals. Obviously, they'll probably want to because they're a ruthless team. They'll want to go into that match against Surrey with confidence. But hopefully Bristol can come out here and make it a bit more of a challenge for Cardiff Met.
All right, well, that will do it for half one. Jordan Climbs and Hugh Gwynn here. In half two, we got some new guys stepping into the box, Griffin Leonard, and as well as Harrison will step in and give some more commentary for the second half of play. But for now, thank you for listening. Let's send it back to the studio.
Well, thank you, Hugh and Jordan, for that brilliant first half commentary. For a brilliant first half of Cardiff Met. Dom, your first 45 minutes watching European football, you called it earlier. How do you find it?
Oh boy, well, very fast moving, I'd say. Just a faster tempo and more upbeat tempo, I'd say. A lot of strategy involved with it, right? To me, I mean, when you look at Cardiff Met and how fast they come out, they came out of the gates, right? Like,
yeah.
4 goals in 10 minutes.
Can I just say for any Americans watching, that's not normal. 4 goals in 10 minutes.
That's the first thing.
Normal.
First thing you said to me. The first thing that Reese said, he was like, Dom, like, I don't know what kind of soccer you watch back home, but that's not normal. Fair play to Cardiff Met to come out of the gates. They knew what had to be done right away, right? They stepped on the gas. You never really saw Bristol get into that offensive zone too often. Like it was so intense and fast moving on Cardiff Met's part. And could we see a hat trick maybe from Williams or Skifferton? Who knows? Because they've already got 2. Listen, this game's on pace for 10-0 right now. If the trend continues, I don't know if I've ever seen a 10-0 soccer match. But again, the initial thoughts are just fast-moving and very physical, too. The refs really let them play.
Yeah, fair play to the ref. He's really let the game flow, and I think that's really helped Cardiff Met, actually, because we saw how quickly they started, and as soon as they sort of got into their flow and especially down the left-hand side. I think a couple of the goals came from crosses from the left and good headers. So they've clearly really come out the blocks well and really seen that as a tactic they could use in this game. And yeah, I don't think Bristol will be able to deal with that in the first half. So yeah, really impressive stuff from Cardiff Met, and I'm excited to see what they can do going into the second half.
Hey, remember Owen Cudahy's awesome goal that we showed earlier in the national semifinal just a week ago here from Kincoid? Well, our own Matt Purdy in this version of Archer Attempts decided to try and recreate that goal. Let's take it to Matt.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Archer Attempts.
This week, we're taking a go at Owen Cudahy's sensational strike that put Met through to the National Trophy final.
Let's see how we get on.
Challenge! Right, Claykey, finishing first time!
Oh no!
Strike!
Oh no!
Strike
oh,
it!
No!
Hit it! Michael Jackson! Oh no!
And then he goes like this, and then he goes...
Yes, you! Yeah! Puddy!
Oh, I got straight out. Oh. He's never gonna get there.
It's not bad. Touch isn't bad either.
Toby! Where's Toby? Come on, Toby, this is your time. You're on. You're on. Come on, come on.
Go Winterson.
Toby Hill, Post correspondent. It's gone. Oh, it's bounced.
Finish. Oh.
Ah.
Yeah, finish.
Oh. Yeah.
Good. Right. Go on.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh. Not quite where we want it.
Oh. What the dangerous, I'm not having that. Not a bad ball. Ooh. Ooh. Oh. I'll go for it anyway.
Oh, finish.
Not quite the right one though. Why is it so hard? I'm scared of the ball when it approaches me. Get under the ball, you know, like you've got to go through the ball. It's harder than it looks, isn't it, Sophie?
Vicky, you have seen the goal, right?
It's hit the post. It's hit the beans on toast.
Got these boots, got them from Derby Sports Direct in 2020. I haven't got that many misses.
Right, you've got this one. This is your time.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry.
Come on, it's getting to muscle memory now. Let's go.
It's not good enough. How long have I been here now?
So it turns out that was quite difficult. That was an Archer's fail.
Yeah, it's quite a good strike, that, to be fair to him.
Yeah, fair play. I'd like to just say a quick thank you to Broadcast Ballers for helping out. Yeah, that's them.
Cardiff Met 2s. We'll see you in the final.
Some suspect finishing there from Toby Hill and Shaky Wayne and Matt Purdy. But now we're joined by our BSU football correspondent for the day, Andrew Willett. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Like Dom has mentioned, this is not usually what we call football around here, but it's been really cool to watch some football this afternoon.
And you've had the opportunity to watch the first half. Can you maybe just give us a bit of your analysis of what you've seen and what you were expecting from the second half maybe as well?
Absolutely. This first half, exactly what you guys were talking about, where you don't expect to walk into a match and get out to a 3-0 start. Like that just, as you said, doesn't happen. So it's 7 minutes in when it's 3-0, when it's 4-0, you're like, holy cow, did Bristol even show up here? And you're still wondering that at 5-0 after
Yeah, I
half.
think they're still on the other side of the 7 side, I think.
But you've got to love what you've seen from Cardiff Met, just using the width of the field and taking advantage of each of their opportunities thus far.
So, us being Americans, Willie, right? Like the tempo, the way that the refs let the game flow. I mean, just your initial reactions to that, because when we're watching Ball State soccer back home, fouls maybe every other minute, depending on how aggressive teams are with each other that we see on the pitch. Here, you see a lot of let them play.
Yeah, and I'm curious from your perspective here, as like Dom was talking about, we see it over there where it's like, hey, we maybe need to watch it with our physicality a little bit, not lose our tempers. But here, they're playing with a lot of physicality. It's just fine. They move on through the game, and like you said, great flow.
Yeah, I think the ref has really let the game flow and really let us enjoy the first half, and Met got a rhythm together, and sorry, I forgot what.
Well, did Met take their foot off the gas a little bit? You think in that last maybe 20-ish, 15-ish minutes, you think they could have scored maybe 6, 7?
Well, and the wonder there is, like, what will this Cardiff team do in the second half? And you see them only score 1 goal in that last 15, 20 minutes. That's pretty darn good. You start to wonder, are they going to go to some more substitutes in the second half? Are they going to try and maybe rest up for Saturday's match coming up, or the next match up against the Nomads? But I think they're still going to look to probably put their foot on the gas a little bit. And I think the guys off the bench are also going to be looking to take advantage of those opportunities.
What does Bristol need to do to maybe not exactly tie this thing up right away, but start to chip away?
Chipping away, it's definitely a possession battle, because as we've talked about, as the Jordan and Hugh talked about on the broadcast, it's been a great job by Cardiff to regain possession after they lose it. So it's got to be Bristol taking advantage. Obviously, it's a huge deficit, but then taking advantage on defense, they got to tighten those tabs, get closer to the Cardiff offensive players when they have the ball, and take it back onto their pitch.
All right, Andrew, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you coming on. Hey, a reminder again, it is International Women's Day this upcoming Friday, and we can't wait for that and for more. We have a promo from our very own students at Ball State Sports Link.
Here's to the women who stand, the women who take their lives in their hands, who hold to the truth on point of pain, who are told they're insane and to stay in their lane. Here's to the women who still speak out.
Yeah, make sure you look out for any events on International Women's Day this Friday. And now we're going to head back to our commentary team. It's Harrison Jones and Griffin Leonard.
Thank you so much, guys. Looking forward to half number 2 just underway here. A new half and a new set of commentary team. Griffin Leonard, Harrison Jones. Harrison, quite the onslaught offensively from the Cardiff Archers here in the first half. How have you thought it's gone on?
I've never seen Cardiff Met score as many goals as that in the one half for quite a while. I think it's been quite a while since last year. I think they scored a 6 in one game against this team. Hopefully maybe see more.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing if they can continue some of the offensive attack as they move forward right to left here in the home blue uniforms. And the visitors from Bristol down 5-0 in the away Reds. It's Max Diamond, the keeper, rolling it out into his own 18. As we saw in the first half, Bristol trying to build from the back, but it's given an opportunity for Cardiff Met to take away the ball in the defensive, or the attacking third rather, but a foul conceded this time. What have Cardiff Met done so well, Harrison, in this match that's allowed them to get into the position that they have?
I think they've got quite attacking pedigree up front. I think Finn Skiverton's a tall dynamic, but he's also got pace. Josh Williams has been playing more as a winger himself, and he's also an attacker, and he's been playing as a striker most recently. And Haben Sampson, I believe his performances last season with Traharis, I think he played over 20 games, and I think he got like over 10 goals and 5 assists within that league. So they're all 3 attacking players in that attacking trio, you could say.
Well, loose ball in the midfield. Should we expect another 5 goals here in half number 2, Harrison? Should we expect another 5 goals?
I wish there would be an extra 5 goals, yeah. If we could get that to 10, that would be great. I
I think I'm hoping it's a cricket score, if you know a little bit of cricket down here.
Cricket score, yeah. Well, I don't think we're going to quite get up to the 100, 200s, but you never know.
I think it'll be more like an NFL score you could probably see down in the States. Hopefully it's a 10-0 here. If it'd be great if it's a 10-0. I think I've only seen it once, but there's been over 10 goals in a football game here at the campus.
Well, we'll see if records may be set today. Cardiff Met looking to complete their run to the league title. They've already clinched a spot in the playoff against Surrey coming up later on in the spring semester, but looking to finish things off on a high note here in the league, and they've certainly put themselves in a good position to do that. Bristol, midfield possession, streaking across. Fenn plays the ball to the right wing, and he's dispossessed quite nicely by Barnaby Sodi. It's Bullock from the left wing now, attacked on the right in the first half, and it's Joshua Williams causing the defender to hit the ground. Left wing entry into the box, and a step in from the defender halts the attack for a moment. Charlie Bullock on his right foot, plays it back to the midfield third, and they switch the play along the back line. It's Cadwallader.
I don't think there's been any half-time substitutions for Met, which is, hopefully that's a good sign. So at least you can see the first 15 minutes of the half. You'll probably see more substitutes come in. I believe I was told by Charlie that Jake Morris and Tom Vincent might be making appearances after the 60-minute mark. So hopefully we see their faces, and hopefully they'll be scoring goals.
Well, I think it's also an important time to see how the team responds. Obviously, Bristol's going to come out with maybe a little bit of a different shape, certainly a little bit more drive to succeed after conceding so many goals in the first half. But trying to find a little bit of a way back into this one. Long ball in the direction of Charlie Bullock, headed back by the right back to Diamond, who will reset things for Bristol.
Looks like he's got his cap on there, just to protect the sun.
Yeah, a little bit of sun here. We've got a little bit of an overhang here in the commentary box, so no complaints from me. Just a little chilly as the wind comes in. The ball is headed back to the back line. Cadwallader. Little half volley forward to the center circle and poked out to the left back. That's Sodi. Ball up to Joshua Williams. Pushes it by his defender. He's got some room on the left side. Into the 18-yard box on his right foot. Trying to get by the defender, but a step in lovely from the center back, Callum Mountain, I believe that is. And here clears things away for the team in red.
I believe there was a chance at the back post for Finn Skivington to probably get his hat-trick. I think if Williams reacted a little bit more... Oh, hang on.
A giveaway. Goalkeeper off his line, trying to beat him, and what a save that is from Max Diamond. Stretching to his right and pushing the ball out for a corner kick.
That was a poor giveaway there from the keeper. And Callum Jenkins, who's an experienced head here at Cardiff Met, who I think is a third year, has just struck the ball from distance, and he was trying to look for his first of the game to make it 6.
Nearly a sixth from 25 yards out, but instead it results in the first corner kick of the second half, and it's Charlie Bullock, the second-year sport management major, to take it from the right corner flag. Low ball, bouncing around loose, cleared off the line by the defender on the back post.
That looked very close. It was probably inches crossed to go over the line.
Would VAR have changed it? We may never know, but the ball's whipped back into the box, loose and cleared by Jasper Turner, who's in off the bench for Bristol.
I think what we've seen, Bristol have looked poor on that set. I think Met have been good on that second ball. I think that's what's been making Met score 5 goals, especially within 4 goals within 10 minutes. I think it's always that second ball. Met have showed that in this half, last half and this half itself.
A little bit of a different look to the second half than the first, still 5-0. I say still 5-0, but what a scoreline that is. 51st minute coming to an end here as we see Barney Sodi playing a low ball, and he gets it straight back from Cadwallader.
I don't think we've really seen much attacking opportunities from Bristol in this game so far.
Well, here's Sampson. He's dispossessed. A little tug of the jersey gets it back, but the referee brings it back to the spot of the foul where he dragged down Ruben Fent. A yellow card coming out for Haben Sampson. His 11th BUCS appearance of the season, and he picks up the yellow card and goes into the scorebook for the second time, but maybe Harrison not in such a great category this time around.
Yeah, I think it was worthy of yellow. I think I've seen a few games here. It's a little tug of the shirt. He was preventing a counter attack, and it was worthy of a yellow card, you could say.
Tactical foul goes in the books in minute number 52, and now a long ball play to the right side over the head of Marcus Gui, and out over the touchline for a throw in the far corner, or the near corner rather, where Cardiff Met will build from the back.
Yeah, it's Barney Sodi with the throw here for Cardiff Met. It's going to be another throw for Cardiff Met as well.
Now, Harrison, you've been around this team quite a bit longer than I have. I think I'm on minute 7 right now. Harrison, how have you seen this team grow over the course of the year? And I know you're a big supporter. How proud are you of this team as they look to be securing the league here in the next 30, 40 minutes?
I think we've seen as the expectations for the season. I think over the last few weeks, I think Charlie was always saying it's playoffs is the whole goal, and I think that's the firm word everybody's been wanting. But like after that upset against Chichester last year, that's the main focus, and their performances have only improved over the course of the season. And well, they've been scoring a lot more goals over the course of the season as well.
Well, certainly added that tally today. Bristol able to relieve the pressure for the moment with captain Stephen Wayne, who puts the ball long, but it's taken right away by the center back Griff Morgan. Morgan, right-footed pass to the near touchline for Sodi. And some triangle action. And they get Harry Irving involved, the master's student from Bristol, playing against his hometown uni. And the better goalkeeper of the two at the moment. Here's Sampson, can't quite get his left foot to it. Cleared away by Ben Spano. And it'll be a corner kick on the far side for the Cardiff Met Archers.
I think we've seen this left side's been more controlled for Met for this second half. Barney Sodi's been influential down this left side, and hopefully this is our second corner of the match, which is taken quickly.
Coleman off the quick ball from Sampson, back to Sampson, high arcing ball to the back post, and that's Sodi who tried to head it on, or Griff Morgan rather, but regardless, it'll be a goal kick for Bristol, who have been able to deal much better with this Cardiff Met attack here in half number 2. '55th minute of action here from the Kincoid campus here at Cardiff Metropolitan University, far away from the city of Muncie, Indiana, but it's the transatlantic storytelling partnership between these two schools that's brought us here today. As Joshua Williams plays a through ball, low ball in the box, tapped in on the back post, 6-0, and it's Skiverton, Finn Skiverton, hat trick for the second year. Third goal of the afternoon, and it's 6-0 to the Archers, who have just pushed their will on to Bristol over the course of this match.
What a play, what a play. Charlie Bullock down the left side, like we've said here, the left side's always the important. We've seen Finn Skiverton run throughout the first half and within this half. As soon as Bullock looked up, he knew Skiverton was going to be there, and it was an empty net to complete a hat trick for Finn Skiverton.
You mentioned earlier in the half that the last time these two teams faced here on this pitch, it was 6-0, I believe you said last season. 6-0, and we've still got 35 minutes left to play. We'll see if the score will ramp up even more as this match goes on.
And on that day, 6-0, we topped the league that day, and it will be, well, I doubt we'll see a comeback here from Bristol, but we'll see a top of the league finish today.
It would take quite the nightmare from a Cardiff Met perspective to lose the league now. Stephen Wayne to the edge of the 18-yard box, and it's cleared away. And it's Skiverton winning the ball back for the Archers. On the far touchline, long ball in front of the two teams' benches, and a jostle for possession in midfield. But as we were talking about the Transatlantic Storytelling Partnership, Harrison, how has it been to have the Americans along for the ride this week? Hopefully we haven't been too much of a burden.
Yeah, we haven't been much of a burden, but they've had a nice visit to Ely for the documentary I'll be doing. And I would say a bit of Ely's not
nice place in Cardiff, you could say, which has been stereotyped. But I think they had a great visit to meet a great person in Liam McKay.
How is Liam McKay? I haven't gotten the chance to be around him much at all, but how has it been working with Liam?
Working with Liam, he's been a great character. I think he's worked a lot with the community, and when we were filming on Monday, he was lucky enough to, I think children were there, in his project, he's a convict as well, and he was just there. We were there to watch him help train the youngsters for the future.
Yeah, I love that story just because of not only how he's been able to really grow as a human being, but how he's been able to change the lives of so many people around him. It's truly inspiring. And Cardiff Met playing the ball forward once again off the foot of Sodi. His left-footed long ball fights the feet of Charlie Bullock. Through to Coleman. Kyle Coleman. Low ball. No one there, but Joshua Williams keeping it alive at the edge of the 18. He takes the shot, and it's blocked. Sampson tracking it down, back to Williams. Williams again, and it's gobbled up by Max Diamond.
I think there's surely a chance here for Josh Williams to try and get his hat-trick as well. Try and complete alongside his teammate, Tom Vinton. Hopefully the managers won't sub him off to get his hat-trick, which I believe will probably be one of his first hat-tricks within BUCS.
5 goals between the two on the back line, or on the front line for the Archers. And they'll be looking to increase that number as the ball headed away, and it'll be a throw for the visitors. Now, obviously, we couldn't get into the team talks at halftime, Harrison, but on the Bristol side of things, you're down 5-0. What in the world do you tell your squad to try to get them motivated for this half, knowing that the result is a foregone conclusion? It's just trying to improve and better yourself for the coming fixtures.
Well, it's quite tough for Bristol because they've not really got any options off the benches. If you're looking at the benches, Met have got 5 options, they've got 2. So you've got the limited resources with the substitutions they've got. I was just quite surprised Ruben Vent was in the game today. He was one of the scorers when Bristol Ones came here when they beat Cardiff Met. So in a team talk point of view, just make sure it's not a cricket score. That's like they do. I don't think they would want to concede more than 8 or 9 because I don't think that'd be a nice trip back into Bristol.
Well, luckily it's not too long of a ride to Bristol. Stop it to play. And we'll have our first substitution of the game. Kyle Coleman will exit. And it'll be Joe Bowen to enter, the 3rd-year sport and exercise science major from West Wales. And it'll be a double substitution as we see the triple goal scorer, Finn Skiverton. He's replaced by Thomas Vincent as well. Skiverton, after 3 goals, I don't think he'll be too unhappy to have to sit down, but maybe looking for that 4th, but it'll have to come another time.
Well, Thomas Vincent, who's in the attack now, and he's on the ball. He has got a mask on him. He was I think he had a broken jaw when I spoke with him a few weeks back. So he's wearing a little bit like a Batman, you could say.
Well, he'll be looking for his Robin here as the ball's played forward. The direction of Thomas Vincent, just fresh into the game.
I think with Vincent on the pitch and, of course, the hat-trick scorer, Finn Skiverton, going off, Vincent will probably, I think they'll know the game plan is probably going to cross it into the box to get to Tom Vincent.
Looking for Vincent, the team leading 4 goals, well, team leading prior to today. 4 goals for Thomas Vincent this season, 6'6". He's hard to miss out there.
Especially
the ball's just in front of us.
6'6" and wearing a mask, you could say. It's quite easy to spot.
Although perhaps the mask to try to hide him a little bit here. The ball's on the near touchline for Joshua Williams. He streaked through 2 defenders. Plays the ball centrally to Jenkins. Williams couldn't quite link it up. And Bristol clear away with Aldius. The goals may not have been here as frequently here in half number 2, but the possession has still been dominated just the same from the Archers. Look at this, they've got Harry Irving involved about 50 yards out from his goal. But they have taken care of the ball quite nicely today, Harrison. So maybe Irving a little bit of an extra kind of extra long leash, we'll say, for the keeper.
Yeah, I think the keeper, well, our keeper's had nothing to really do all match. I don't think he's really made a save, and compared to the other keeper, I don't think he's made really many saves today.
Irving does play it to his right. That's Evan Caldwalder, who plays a long ball in the direction of Vincent. Vincent heads it on to Williams, but it's the left back, Stephen Wayne, able to get there first, and it's cleared long and strong, where Cardiff Met will have to reset things from the back line. Caldwalder, long ball, right wing, brought down nicely. And now it's a strike from distance, and it's saved. Follow-up potential for Joshua Williams. Bullock, chip ball, back post, and coming out to claim it. A mighty wide receiver in Max Diamond to keep things the way they are at 6-0. It was an American football reference, Harrison, if you weren't too keen into it.
I've watched a bit of American football, but not too much, you could say.
I would have called him Tyreek Hill, but I don't think Tyreek's quite that tall. Line drive ball, snuffed out by Bullock, who nearly played the ball with his hand there, but winning the ball for the Archers is Barney Sodi. Midfield possession, it's Ben Spano. Having to play back to his back line. But Bristol have looked a little more confident on the ball this half, wouldn't you say, Harrison?
Yeah, Bristol have looked, I think they've tightened the score, you could say. I think we've had 18 minutes, by 18 minutes prior, they conceded 5. And I don't think in those 18 minutes you really saw any opportunities from them. Now, I think the game plan here, we've got 27 minutes. I doubt the referee will give any stoppage. You've got 27 minutes, 6 goals. It's going to be quite difficult to see what they'll actually do.
I reckon we might have 6-7 minutes of stoppage, but probably not. Possession for Bristol, and it goes back and forth for Williams. It's Callum Jenkins having to fight off 2 defenders.
Evan Caldwell's on the ball here. He was actually, I think, got an assist for one of the goals in the first half. He was, I think these centre-backs have been playing ball-playing defenders, you could say, within the team. As Bristol look to have an attack now, he sees the keeper off his line, but Harry Irving is there just to palm it down. There's no real danger there for Cardiff Met.
That would have been impressive if that was how they got on the score sheet, but it was not to be. And Cardiff Met, as they have done so many times already this match, can start to work right to left. Long ball in the direction on the left to Charlie Bullock. Defender misjudges it, gives some opportunity for Bullock. Cuts it back to his right foot, into the box, over the head of the defenders. It's opened up and it's an in. Thomas Vincent makes it 7. And the Archers continue to pour it on in minute number 66. Thomas Vincent, his 5th goal of the year.
Bullock, what a ball. He's surely one of the man of the matches. And right there, you could see it. We could call him Batman. Thomas Vincent, literally there. Ball lands to him, bottom left corner. He's a striker who's striking it in the Cymru Premier, and he's also striking it in BUCS.
Gotham City's own. And it's a goal for the super sub off the bench, Thomas Vincent. $7-0, and we'll get underway once again. Bristol going left to right as the sun begins to set here in beautiful Cardiff, Wales. That's something we haven't really touched on yet. You know, coming from Indiana, it certainly has its perks, but there's nothing quite like the Gower Peninsula and the various naturistic values that Wales possesses that Indiana doesn't quite have.
I'll never see the sun in Wales.
Ooh. Well, we're seeing it right now. It's a beautiful day for some football, wouldn't you say? As a yellow card comes out, And I believe that that's Ben Spanham who's going to get booked. Or maybe Ruben Fent.
Yeah, I think
Looks
Ruben
like it was the 11.
Yeah, I think Ruben Fent there was the tackle. He knew that Met were trying to look for the 8th goal, and it's just a little leg kick out on the play.
The right winger gets the yellow, and Cardiff Met can set things back up. Cadwallader switches the play. Lots of space in the midfield on the left side for Barney Sodi. He can kind of just take his time, maybe have a little bit of a tea break.
Barney Sodi is a sport media student, he's a first-year media student, which is 3 years behind us, you could say. So hopefully, in the future, he could be doing broadcasting just like we're doing here. And 3 years, when we have hopefully a BUCS Prem South team who's probably winning the BUCS South, hopefully.
Well, I guess we'll find out, maybe Transatlantic 2026, 2028, somewhere down the road. You never really know. But if the future trips are as fruitful as this one has been so far, I have no doubt that there will be more on the way in the future. Pedro Sempiano also into the match. Forward ball, Sempi Buki Baba, and he's offside. But he did have the chance. At least he thought he had the chance.
I honestly thought it was quite level. I think it's going to be quite a hard decision from the assistant, Kevin Russell. So it looked very tight, you could say, but, well, the assistant referee judged it offside.
The chance was not to be for Bristol as they trail 7-0 in the 69th minute of action. Joshua Williams. He can work from either his right or his left. He chooses left this time and meets a brick wall. But he retains possession and slides it back to Callum Jenkins outside the 18. Poor passing from Cardiff Met, almost losing possession in the midfield, but retained. And now another ball that gets past Callum Jenkins, but he runs it down.
What a play from Tom Vincent there, the man who's just been coming off the pitch, off the bench, and he's making his physical presence known, you could say.
That's Alfie Jones off the bench working the far corner flag in front of the assistant referee. And Sampson nearly taken down, having to fight for the ball along the near touchline. In front of the Bristol bench that has been completely empty. No subs left available for this Bristol side who trail by 7 goals to the team that will soon become the league champions, Cardiff Met.
I know it's going to be very weird to see. We can see in the far corner, there's going to be a replacement of a goalkeeper for Cardiff Met.
Clearly, Harry Irving doing too stellar of a job out there 40 yards from his goal. They've decided that perhaps they'll go with a couple of subs here. Stoppage of play in the 71st minute for some substitutions. And there will be the goalkeeper change, as it's Ben Haynes that will come on for Harry Irving. Jake Morris also in for the Archers.
You rarely see a change of keepers in the in soccer or football.
It doesn't happen too often.
Doesn't happen too often. No injury in play. I think it's just more of a tactical choice for Cardiff Met. Of course, giving him some just minutes, you could say. And Jake Morris, who is also returning from injury as well. Well, Tom Vincent off the bench has made a presence known, and hopefully Jake Morris does as well.
Jake Morris into the game, the first-year Scram student from the Swansea City Academy. He played for the third-tier Welsh side Risca United this season. 12 appearances for Risca. Or is it Rysca?
It's a Risca.
Risca, I had it right the first time. I shouldn't have asked.
I think you learned Welsh a little bit here when you spent time here.
I've certainly tried, but I am going to try to avoid too much. I'm not going to try to test myself, that's for sure. 72nd minute.
Don't worry, I'm not a Welsh speaker myself, but I've had to learn it during the game and during the whole season with some of these Welsh players.
But it has been really interesting, you know, Harrison, to learn the culture because coming from an American, you have so many cultures within your country, but prior to this, I really hadn't gotten the opportunity, especially to travel so far away from home as this, where I've really gotten to envelop myself within another culture. It's just been such an interesting experience, especially after coming from the melting pot, which is the States, to get to see a different language strung across signs all over. You know, you just have a whole nother culture of people that you never really would ever meet if you weren't in Wales. As this ball's in the box, played down nicely by Vincent. Bullock, Williams on his left, and meeting two defenders, loses the ball temporarily, but getting it back are Cardiff Met. Alfie Jones unable to steal it away from Callum. That's a nice name, Mountain. Courtesy of our good friend Jordan Climbs, who killed it here in the first half. And a hard foul there, sending the ball Cardiff Met's way. And after we've seen a couple of cards come out, I wouldn't have been surprised to see another one come out for that challenge, Harrison.
I think that was quite a soft challenge, but I think it built up from the earlier play. Tom Vincent just trying to hold down the play, but of course he hasn't seen many minutes within the main team and the BUCS team for the last few weeks. So I think he was trying to find space for a man, and I think it was quite late to find someone to support him there. But that was a very soft challenge, you could say. I don't think there'd be any cards flown out at that time.
Possession for the Archers, it's Cadwallader. Joshua Williams tried to play it to absolutely no one, and maybe he was trying to play it to one of his former Bristol teammates. You know, the guy's played for every single team in this level of BUCS football, Harrison, and has recently featured on the bench for the Welsh Premier League Cardiff Met side for the last 4 games. But maybe just a bit of miscommunication within himself that time as the ball's cleared away long by the Archers, and it'll be the goalkeeper, Diamond, being called in, but he plays a real poor pass.
I would say with Josh Williams, I've had the pleasure to cover him for the last 2 or 3 years, and I can see his progress he's made as well. I remember just him being in the 5s team. I'm like, who's knowing about the 5s team? And now in his whole progress here, getting into the first team, which I think he broke out last year, and his performances in the reserves side as well this season. I believe he's scoring plenty of goals in the reserves league. I think they've won the league, or they're going to win the league, you'll say. You'll see.
Hey, there's still time for 7 goals. We saw 4 in the span of 10 minutes, and there's a hard foul. The yellow card will once again come out, this time to the 3rd-year Joe Bowen. And the Western Welshman goes into the scorecard. It's a yellow card for the substitute.
Alex McCain just giving the cards out a little bit more. He's a lecturer at this university, you could say. He's giving him a little bit of a warning. He's not kicking him out of the classroom, but he's giving him a little yellow card.
A little bit of a telling off, perhaps, for Joe Bowen. Trying to get some Welsh lingo into my vocab here. A little telling off.
Another foul.
Another foul this time. Cadwallader takes down the left winger. A free kick just from in front of the center line on the far side of the pitch. Bristol working left to right, trying to at least perhaps get one on the board, but they've struggled to get anything worth of mentioning going offensively throughout this match. 76 minutes down, and not much has changed from the opening kick. Foul by Thomas Vincent. And Harrison, you know, sometimes watching football, you'll see an early goal for one of the sides, and as much as that is detrimental to the other team, it gives them a chance to switch momentum, as there's nearly a terrible miscommunication by Barnaby Sodi and Ben Haynes, but Haynes able to get a palm to it and keep it from going behind him. But it has not gone that way for Bristol. Not unable to steal momentum after the early goal, and giving up a couple more has put the result out of reach pretty quickly.
I think there's been a few standout players, you could say, for a man of the match call, you could say. Finn Skiverton's probably right up there with a hat-trick, but I would say, during this game, as we see the next 15 minutes, can we see another potential man of the match get the call? Because surely it's going to Finn Skiverton right now.
Joshua Williams can equal Skiverton in goals. Maybe he'll be able to raise his hand and ask for a little bit more consideration, as the ball was left by Codwalder. But instead of his teammates scooping it up, it's Bristol as they work left to right, but dispossessing Sapiano was Cardiff for just the moment. Long ball played left to right. Trying to control the ball is Fadiki Deche. He gets it back, cuts to his left and is fouled. And what a solo effort, wouldn't you say, from Fadiki Deche?
Well, that's what we've seen. That's the most promising piece of action we've seen from the half, and well, from the whole game we've seen from Bristol.
Well, now more importantly, a chance to get forward if you're Bristol. Cardiff men have worked so quickly, moving on the counterattack. You haven't been able to get numbers for nearly as much as you'd like, but now a whipped-in ball from Ruben Fenton coming with some bodies in the box. In swinger, and moving to his left to collect it was Ben Haynes. A little bit off his line, but the ball hovered in the air long enough for the backup goalkeeper of the Archers to get over and make the comfortable save.
Yeah, I think you saw him off guard. I think we saw earlier in the game where they saw an effort from distance. And well, of course, that instant with Barney Sodi. So I think that if there's any way they're going to try and score here is try and play in the mind of the keeper.
The score, if you're just tuning in, you may have thought we'd be in the first quarter of tonight's rugby match after an early try, but instead it's football, folks. It's 7-0 in the 79th minute with a throw-in incoming from the near touchline on Bristol's half of the field. Or free kick, rather, excuse me. Working his way through the midfield, but playing an errant pass was Banspano. And the ball's back to Haynes. It's Cardiff Met with 10 minutes to go, trying to work a little more of their offensive magic that has been on showcase this afternoon here in Cardiff. Fancy footwork from Griff Morgan. And a chip ball forward in the direction of Bullock. Bullock's going to track it down in front of the end line, whipping the ball in, headed away, but only so far as the top of the 18, where it's fully cleared away by Bristol.
I think this defensive line for Cardiff Met is looking very strong. We can say this for a 7-0. I think the most important part for Met here now is just to keep a clean sheet for this game.
Bristol looking for the juice required to finish off this comfortable win and to keep the sheet clean, as you mentioned. But Bristol, the fight's not quite gone. 81st minute from the Kincoid campus at Cardiff Metropolitan University. It's BUCS Super Wednesday in collaboration with Ball State University in the United States of America. In the 18-yard box, Bristol looking for an answer. Chipped in, left on the back post, but it's going to float just wide. And I believe that was Bucci Baba getting just a bit of the head to it. It's the closest effort Bristol's had in at least the last 60 minutes or so, if not the whole match.
Yeah,
but in the end, it's a goal kick.
It's a goal kick at the end of the day, but looked very... I think Ben Haynes was a bit scared for a little bit there. I think he thought he was going to go to his near post, but I think that's only the only few chances we've seen from the half for Bristol, and we haven't been really saying much about the away side due to their performances today.
Oh, Josh Williams. Beautiful, 4 ball rolls, and now they've got numbers. Williams pressing the ball to his left side. Bullock on his left. Bullock wide right. Goal kick for Bristol, but a low drive from Charlie Bullock. He nearly found his second goal in as many matches. He scored his first goal last match against the Bristol Twos, and he almost had another one.
He almost did, and if there's anyone who deserves a goal right now, it is to Charlie Bullock. He has been amazing down this left side. I think he's set 1 or 2 goals throughout the game as well. He is from Bath, and I think next month, Cardiff Met will be playing in varsity against Bath. So, from Bath, going from Cardiff Met, what do you reckon? What team do you reckon you'll support?
Well, it's tough to say. We just got our first experience of Bath on Sunday. Our group traveled out there for the afternoon. It was our one and only day in England. Beautiful city there. They got with the Roman baths and everything. Nothing quite like it that I've seen out here. A nice little cultural history blend. And for somebody who doesn't mind a bit of history, it was a nice time.
I don't think you want to be praising Bath that much right now, as they're our varsity rivals for next month.
Yeah, well, I'll praise the city, not the uni. How about that? Ball kept in on the touchline, played forward, but sought after by Wayne, and played that off the forehead of Franiki Deke, who maybe misplayed the ball just a little bit, nearly took his eyes out.
So it was a great touch. Definitely saw it coming.
It was a touch. I don't know if it was great. But it was a touch indeed, Harrison.
Yeah, we've got about 7 minutes to go, and it's 7-0. Can we see one more goal? Do you hope there's one more goal?
I wouldn't mind calling one more, but we have definitely been blessed in the offensive department. The football gods smiling nicely down on Cardiff Metropolitan University as the sun continues to set. A beautiful evening for some sport, and another match coming up soon just after this. BUCS Super Rugby leads Beckett in town to take on the Archers, and we'll have that one live for you just after this show wraps up.
We've seen quite a few changes in that match as well. There's a lot of new faces for that game, which I think kicks off at 6:30.
I've never seen rugby, Harrison. I'm looking forward. We're going to the Wales U20s tomorrow down at the Arms Park, and that'll be a good experience, but we'll see how the Archers get on this evening. Loose ball. It finds the feet of Barney Sodi, chipping it over the top for Charlie Bullock. It's back to Sodi. Sodi around the corner, all the way to the end line. Line drive ball in and headed over the net, or nearly over the net. It looked like it was headed into the trees, Harrison, but it'll be a corner kick for the Archers.
I don't think the attempt was that bad. As Met win the corner, it's great to see that. I think hopefully we can hopefully see a corner goal, which I think Cardiff Met have been working on within their training sessions.
85th minute of action, and the action has been around. Alfie Jones to take the corner with his right foot. It'll be an in-swinger. Body's right on the goal line. He's going to challenge the keeper over his head, and it's headed away by that trusty defender on the back line. Joshua Williams keeping the play alive. Another line drive ball. What a touch that is by Jake Morris. I don't even know what to call that, Harrison, but it was extraordinary.
In the UK, you call that a scorpion kick. A little flick over. I'm trying to think. I think I've seen Zlatan Ibrahimovic score one of those in the MLS. I've never seen such an effort in all my life. That would have been one of the best goals we probably would have seen at this campus. I've said before, Vince Gibson scored a great skill goal against Solent, and that would be brilliant to see.
The 19-year-old dumping out the bag of tricks here on a Wednesday night. You love to see it. 86th minute, the goal kick. Wiped down to midfield, and Cardiff Met working quickly. Over the top ball. And the offside flag goes up. But Jake Morris was in on goal and had only the keeper to beat, but just ahead of the defender. Was that pass, do you think it was intended for Jake Morris because you had that second runner on more of the inside track? He was certainly onside, Harrison, but do you think he should have taken it rather than letting it go?
I think with Jake Morris, I think he might have just tried to look for that eighth now, but he was in plenty of space. He might have not seen if he was offside. I think, like we've seen, it's this left side is where all the actions always go in. Even if they were trying to go from the right, it was going to be, there's only one way they're going to go.
Nice touchdown on the chest. He's got Jake Morris in the box, but Thomas Vincent doesn't play the quick ball, and he's dispossessed on the left wing by the defender. Strong play that is from the Bristol defense.
Tom Vincent's definitely made an impact in the second half. We could see the skill, the flair, the finishes. We haven't had as many goals as the first half, but you can see the attempts that they've had. It could have been easily 10.
Long ball brought down to the midfield by the visitors. Oh, lovely through ball. Chance on net for Fent. Fent plays it wide to the left. He tried to get technical, took off all the power, but didn't have the accuracy, and he'll be disappointed with that one.
Yeah, it's been a poor display from Bristol, and I think that shot just sums it up. We were one-on-one with the keeper. He scored a great finish against us for the one side early in the season, and it looked, could say, at least get it on target.
He'll be disappointed with that. Potentially the last chance for this Bristol side, who haven't had many, as we close down on the final 3 minutes of this one before stoppage time, that is. And Cardiff Met looking to continue their rampage. Vincent looking to control the ball at the midfield. He's done so. Potentially a 1-2 ball. Instead, Bullock's pass finds Joshua Williams. He's played it through. No offside. The flag goes back down into the box. One-touch football, and the shot's deflected. Blocked nearly as soon as it came off the foot. Oh, that's lovely. Sliding tackle from Cadwallader.
I would say we've got 2 minutes left in this game, and as you've came from the States, I believe you should decide who gets man of the match.
Well, I'll certainly have to ponder that, but there's still some time to play as a foul in the defensive third of Bristol, and staying down is the man. And that's Ben Spano, who goes down after a tough challenge, got him on the shin. Appears to be okay, just definitely a stinger. But the free kick to get us back underway momentarily. Shouldn't be too much stoppage time from that. Only pause the game 15 seconds or so, but it'll be Spano himself to get things back underway. What do you make of that, Harrison?
Well, I think we've got about just under 90 seconds left. I think it'll be very hard. Well, we could see an 8th goal here, but I think it's 7-0. I think nobody was expecting a 7-0 performance today from Cardiff Met. But it's good to see that some of the players are getting some time, of course, with some injuries. Some players who haven't had much time within the Cardiff Met team this season as well. I think heading into next month's game against Surrey Uni, I think we're hoping that we can get some pre-season friendlies to sort the games out, and it's offside.
Offside flag goes up. Joshua Williams shows his teammate his appreciation, but it was he that drifted offside. 30 seconds left of regulation time before stoppage, if there is any. None in the first half. And another foul. And the whistle will actually go 30 seconds early. League champions. The Cardiff Met Archers have done it with a convincing 7-0 lead. And Harrison, I know that means a lot to you, and I'm sure the players they might not be thinking about it in the moment, but reflecting on this match, they'll certainly be appreciative of the work they've done this season. The playoff match against Surrey upcoming, but a chance for Cardiff Met to enjoy themselves at the moment. League champions of the 2023-2024 campaign.
Yeah, a convincing performance from Cardiff Met. First half performance which you could say blew away Bristol. A second half performance where you're trying to just make sure that defence is keeping that clean sheet, and I think that's what the main idea was for the second half. It's good to see a few faces coming off the bench to make a massive impact, and of course bang hat-tricks in, you could say. But on a closing notice, I would say, who do you reckon would be man of the match in this game, would you say?
Well, it's difficult to choose just because there's been so many offensive faces that have really shown through in this one. I mean, Finn Skiverton has been, he was so clinical in that first half, and I wish we would have been on comms for the first half just to be able to really take in that performance. But 3 goals overall in the match. We saw the third, but 2 goals in the first half. Skiverton has done outstanding in this match. He'd be my man of the match, but Joshua Williams, the third year, just absolutely outstanding. Doubled, tripled his goal tally from this game. Solid stuff overall from Cardiff Met. At this time, let's send it down to our field reporter, Andrew Willett. He's here with our man of the match, Finn Skiverton. Take it away, Andrew, from up here.
And we're right back here on the pitch, and I am so happy to be welcomed now by Finn Skiverton. And Finn, congrats on a great match and a hat trick. How about that?
Yeah, no, it was alright, to be fair. Like, we sort of, this season, it's sort of been our season really, so we just thought go out there, put in our best performance, and yeah, just get 3 points, win the league, and then on to Surrey in the playoff.
Well, and a hat trick should not be glossed over here. What's going through your mind when you get that third goal to go?
Yeah, no, I was buzzing, to be fair. Like, I haven't scored as much goals as I feel like I should have this season, but yeah, just to get that third, it was a good feeling, and yeah, buzzing, to be fair.
And you mentioned Surrey. You guys have gone undefeated all the way since opening night, and that's earned your playoff against Surrey. What do you guys need to work on heading into that match?
To be fair, we just, I think today, it's been a bit slow, to be fair. Like, our playing stuff, I thought today we definitely a lot sharper. Like when we play football, just go out there to win, really. But yeah, we definitely need to be a bit quicker, I think, and today we definitely showed that. So yeah, it's good to see that, hard work's been paying off. And a big win here again today. One more on that one. How do you guys get off to such a hot start? 3 goals in 7 minutes. Yeah, I know. That's what Charlie and Ems were saying, to be fair. Just get off to a good start and then we'll be fine. I think the goals will start rolling from there. So yeah, it's good to see me get one, then Josh get one, and then yeah, we thought from there that would get a good few in. So yeah, decent result. I'm proud of the boys, to be fair. All right, congrats on the win, and thank you so much for taking the time. Cheers, thank you. Cheers, guys. All right.
Well, a magnificent 7 for Met there. Dom, how did you find your first experience of watching European football?
Not bad. I mean, Andrew mentioned it with Skipperton. The 3 goals in 7 minutes, 4 goals in the first 10 minutes, right? Just very fast moving. Cardiff Met, too much for Bristol Twos, and just a very, very exciting match as well.
Well, I think it was slightly unfair that Cardiff Met had Batman playing for them in that second half as well, scoring. So, not a fan of that, but it was a great mask.
Yeah, no, it was absolutely a phenomenal match. Great mask as well, too. The LeBron James kind of mentality, but no, just a great match overall, and I'm happy that was my first experience with European football. Thank you so much for tuning in to Up the Archer, as well as our coverage of halftime and full time here from the studios. I've been Dominic Liacani. That's Reece Stafford. Thank you so much. And now let's take it over to International Women's Day.
Promo shoot, take 1.
Everywhere I go, the people really wanna know who I is and who I be. They stop and stare when they see me. If I said it once, no need to repeat. Run up on me, watch you fall to your knees. Tip my hat when it's time for the kill. Ain't no beast when you're really real. I am the boss, I am the Don. I am the one they call Lucky Charm. Got my own shit, I don't need your farm. Life was so hard, it made me weak. Built to last, this girl ain't weak. Sturdy and still when I plant my feet. Got it out the mud, now it's racks in my sleep. Look to God, he supplies my needs. Endless faith is what brought me next level prosperity. Silent power moves is what I'm giving. They love to hate the world they can't live in. Always present for the high roads. Test and she. Hurry up quick, El Jefe's coming soon. This is her queendom, please respect her rule. Hurry up quick, El Jefe's coming soon. This is her queendom.